Ciao, dosto, good evening. And we have the man of the hour in the house, Yogesh, Campioni di Italia, Napoli, or special guests as well, Nidhi and Manas, both are here from Menace and the Monk, and DJ is also here as we look for the top four race. But the man of the hour, Yogesh bhai, Campioni di Italia, तेरी भविष्यवाणी सही आ गई कैसा लग
मजा
रहा
आ
है
गया
भाई
यार. या मजा आ गया. आई डिड नॉट एक्सपेक्ट दिस जब भविष्यवाणी की थी. लाइक प्रेडिक्शंस में तो मैंने मजाक मजाक में बोल दिया था कि
मजाक मजाक
चैंपियंस
में
होंगे.
करते हैं
बट एंटायर सीजन यार लाइक इट हैज बीन एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी एंड कल का मैच भी वाज समथिंग एल्स. लाइक मैकटोमिने, लुकाकू, कॉन्टे, एवरीवन दे हैव बीन एक्सेप्शनल यार. एंड काफी सरियल फीलिंग है. As Napoli fans, we are not used to glory that much. We are not used to winning trophies that much. So it's really something special, yeah.
भाई तुम दो लीग टाइटल जीतो 3 साल में और इतना
Yeah.
मतलब हम्बल बन रहे हो तुम मतलब यार योगेश कम ऑन मैन जस्ट ग्लोट इन सम ग्लोरी फॉर वंस
योगेश वाइडियल लग रहा है सीधा ऑफिस से इधर ही आया है तो उसके कपड़े तो देखो सीधा ऑफिस से आ गया वो
भाई मैं तो उसको बोल रहा कि ये पीछे ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो मैराडोना स्टेडियम है वैसा लग रहा है बिकॉज उसका भी थोड़ा कंस्ट्रक्शन थोड़ा एंशिएंट है बट यार निधि मानस तुम लोग को एज प्रीमियर लीग फैंस टू सी Scott McTominay come in from Man United and have the season that he's had. What do you guys make of it, man? And even Conte, as usual, give him the league, he wins it for you.
ब्रो लाइक फॉर अस तो इट इज इवन स्वीटर लाइक वी हम लोग लीग जीत गए ठीक है ये मैन यूनाइटेड के साथ जो हुआ सो हुआ एंड मतलब उनका जिसको ये लोग ने बोला था कि ये हमारे लायक नहीं है वो भी जाके लीग जीत गया तो अभी मैं चाह रहा हूँ कि एंटनी भी कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग जीत जाए
Yes.
ठीक है तो और क्या बोलते हैं रैशफोर्ड भी क्वालिफाई कर जाए चैंपियंस लीग के लिए तो मतलब राइट नाउ एज ए लिवरपूल फैन तो मतलब वो जैसे वो है ना वो किसका है वो पेड्रो अरे यार वो वाला प्लाटो प्लोमो वाला एक्टर वो चलता है ना ऐसे खुशी में ऐसा वो मीम है ना तो वैसा लग रहा है अभी कि जिंदगी अभी बहुत अच्छी है एज अ लिवरपूल फैन व्हाट इज इट दैट यू कैन आस्क फॉर वर्ड्स से लिंक आ रहा है ठीक है तो मतलब अभी तो जिंदगी बहुत अच्छी है इट्स ऑल वेरी गुड
क्या बोलते हैं मानस? Did you
Yeah,
see the McTominay goal yesterday?
yeah, man. I mean, it was a crazy goal, भाई. क्या मतलब जैसे एक जगह जहां उसको इज्जत नहीं मिल रही थी और एक जगह उसको इतना प्यार और इज्जत मिल गया एंड फ्लरिशिंग भाई. मतलब मैंने तो मजाक में लिखा कि मैकटोमिने फॉर बैलन डोर भाई. द वे ही इज प्लेइंग इट फील्स लाइक ही इज बोर्न टू प्ले फॉर नापोली भाई. ऐसा उसने ओनरशिप लिया ये सीजन. क्रेजी क्रेजी परफॉर्मेंस बाय हिम ब्रो. एंड I clearly remember at the start of the season मैंने predict किया था कि नापोली टॉप 4 में पक्का आएगा because यूरोप नहीं था उनके पास कुछ नहीं था. They can totally focus. I remember saying that, but I didn't expect them to win it. Inter were my favorites to win it. But आप कॉन्टे को लाते हो, आप सीरियल विनर को ला रहे हो, हफ्ते में एक मैच खेलना है. Okay, and he gets his players, the players that he wants. And भाई let's be honest, काफी लोग ने काफी कुछ क्वेश्चन किया था ना मैकटोमिने. देन वो एक और स्कॉटिश प्लेयर जो एक्स चेल्सी वाला, आई एम फॉरगेटिंग,
बिली गिलमोर.
गिलमोर. हाँ फिर लुकाकू, ये वो विक्टर ओसिमेन छोड़ के गया. यू नो लाइक देयर आर लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस वर आस्क्ड भाई कि कैसा होगा नापोली का ये कैंपेन, क्या कॉन्टे विल बी एबल टू डू इट. बट देन अगेन भाई लीग में तो कॉन्टे अलग ही है. डीजे विल नो दैट, इंटर फैंस विल नो दैट. कॉन्टे इज अ बीस्ट ब्रो, ही इज अ बीस्ट. एंड
भाई
एंड मैं एक चीज बोल रहा हूँ, नेक्स्ट सीजन वापस ये लोग लीग नहीं जीतेंगे. लेकिन ये मेरा प्रेडिक्शन मैं ऑलरेडी दे रहा हूँ बिकॉज नेक्स्ट सीजन वापस खेलना पड़ेगा, ज्यादा मैच खेलना पड़ेगा और नहीं हो पाएगा.
Speaking of next season, DJ तो इसीलिए आया because he's got to announce that Conte is leaving UA. Sorry, Napoli and joining UA. He's all set to take Conte back. What say DJ?
Guys, it's been too long. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't agree with the decision of if he does come to Juve, I think we should look elsewhere. But it's been so long for the club that Conte has just become this guy where the place where we have to give him credit is he's almost like a short guarantee at winning the Scudetto. You know,
Yeah.
what he's done with Napoli has been exceptional. But you know, before we go to him, guys, I think really this really deserves a shout to the league as a whole. Your title winners come in at 82 points. I mean, just to show the level of competition and how unpredictable the league has been, which has been an absolute joy to watch. You know, and then now, of course, coming back to the Conte effect. I mean, AJ, look, we always knew that this team is good enough to finish, like Manas said, in the top four. But to go from 10 to first over the course of this season with the kind of reinforcements they brought in, I really, I mean, the all the credit to me solely, as far as I'm concerned, goes to Conte. You know, a lot of it is the work you do between the years in terms of upping the temperament and mentality of this team, and we saw it last night. You know, they were sitting back, they were getting pegged back at love all. The pressure had started to filter in, and then they just went on the front foot. And McTominay scored like a goal that was, you know, worthy of the title. You know, and then of course I think the vision that Conte's had with the players he's brought in. 150 million sounds like a lot of money. It may not be in today's context, but it's also very responsible spending in terms of how he's used and optimized those resources. You know, which is again where I'd give him a lot of credit. And I think, to me, all of Napoli's title-winning success goes to Conte. Is the team good enough for top four? I think they would have achieved the top four with any other coach. You know, he's really been that engine and the firepower to get them to beat this Inter team, which has more natural talent, is far more experienced. Conte's done it, yeah. Really, hats off. I don't like his style as a coach. He's a Juve legend. So I'm a fan of him as a player. He's been our captain. He's been an amazing midfielder. But just the things he's achieving, it's unprecedented, yeah. AJ now, you know, apart from Capello, he's the only other guy to have won with 3 teams.
यार निधि मैं कॉन्टे का हम लोग वी वर जस्ट प्रेडिक्टिंग कि भाई कॉन्टे इज गोइंग टू फाइट वहां पे केस होप होने वाला ड्रामा होने वाला है ही विल बी गॉन बाय गणेश चतुर्थी दिवाली क्रिसमस सब आके गया
या
मजे की बात ये है कि अभी भी ही इज स्टिल फाइटिंग विद डे लॉरेंटेस बट ही डिड द जॉब ही वन देम द लीग एंड उन लोग आई टू आई भी नहीं दिख रहे एंड दिस इज आफ्टर ही लॉस्ट क्वारात्स्केलिया इन जनवरी आउट ऑफ नोवेयर
Yeah, of course. Dude, if you look at Conte, what he's done, yeah, if you look at the kind of players he's won the Scudetto with, Rahmani is not like a very averagey player hai wo. Usse he's got almost an all-timer season, right? He's got it through him. Spinazzola was declining, he signed him. Okay, Raspadori, everybody knew he's got potential, but badly underconfident, sorry. And poor, he was poor last season. He improved him. David Neres, iska wo player, what's that guy's name? Noah Okafor.
Milan.
Noah Okafor was overweight, yaar. He got a title through him. Matthias Oliveira, Lobotka, Anguissa. यार ये मतलब all this credit goes to him यार. Oliveira को लेफ्ट बैक से उसने स्विच बैक करा के लेफ्ट सेंटर बैक खिलाया है. He's been sensational. बिली गिलमोर का जैसे तुमने नाम लिया, फिलिप बिलिंग, राफा मारिन, युआन हेजूस, ये क्या स्क्वाड है. इससे स्कुडेटो जीता इसने, राइट? यार मैंने
his beta also Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, मैं तो so I tweeted yesterday कि Conte with a little bit more patience, no? So he's a genius, but he lacks patience because वो लड़ लेगा. He'll fight with De Laurentiis. He went to Spurs, fought with the owners. He was at Chelsea, fought with the owners. Juventus, he had issues with the Agnelli board. He will have issues, but the guy is a bloody genius. Nobody can deny it. If he had a little bit patience in himself, this guy would have been an all-timer. Dude, it's insane.
I think Nidhi, I think he's an all-timer already.
I wouldn't quite put him in with the likes of Ancelotti and Pep and all those people.
No, yaar, Manas, still he doesn't do something in Europe. You can't mention him in the same vein as an Ancelotti, for example, you know, or a Lippi, or a Saf, or a Klopp, you know.
Yeah.
I think he needs to make that final step only when he wins in Europe.
Insane.
But like you said, he's won it with 3 teams, right? If I'm not wrong.
Italy, Capello and him are the only.
Yeah, Italy mein all time. I think, मैं personally in Italy, I will put him as an all-timer for what he has achieved as a player and a manager. मेरे लिए तो all-timer है वो.
Yeah, there's a
Even-
rung above him, yeah, Manas. Italy may also you have Trapattoni, you have Lippi, you have Capello, you have Ancelotti. You know, maybe Conte is I would say half a rung below that. You know, he has to
I
do
agree.
something
maybe
in
the
Europe
modern
to
coaches,
be.
DK. Modern coaches, I think he's there. Even with what he achieved with Italy in the Euros,
Yeah,
वो भी तो
yeah,
टीम देखना, मतलब क्या टीम था वो.
yeah,
ग्राजियानो
yeah,
पहले,
yeah,
एडर,
yeah,
वो बेल्जियम का गोल्डन जनरेशन को हराया.
yeah.
I mean that is insane. But भाई योगेश तू बता यार, तू कहाँ पे है वैसे? If you can disclose your location, क्या कर रहा था? What were your emotions last night?
He's in
नहीं,
ecstasy.
लोकेशन नहीं डिस्क्लोज कर सकता पब्लिक चैट पे.
He's in ecstasy. He's in ecstasy.
Yes, seriously यार. Seriously यार, मैं तो बहुत देर तक जागा था. Like match is 12:15 को start हुआ था. I slept around like 5 o'clock or something. And सब celebrations देख रहा था, checking out videos on Twitter, Insta. It is something else, yeah. I cannot describe the feeling. I cannot describe this time. And I think, like, apart from getting married, this is one of the few nights which I'll always remember.
Wow. 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 I really don't know what to say to this.
You could have used the word moment. I will never forget. Night तूने बोला ना मेरे को हंसी आ गई.
all you know,
but at least yesterday, Yogesh, at least yesterday there was a clean sheet involved, na.
no,
Yeah,
maybe not.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
And look at him.
Oh,
Maybe
yes.
he meant what he said. Maybe look at
Oh,
him.
yes.
Maybe he meant what he said. No, देख तो सही उसको एक बार.
But guys, in
Yeah,
all that irony and coincidence, what Manas said also is very telling. The clean sheet, apart
Yeah.
from the pun, what also Conte re-establishes that defense wins you titles, because this Napoli team is not a very prolific team in terms of scoring goals. You know, Inter far outdoes them in that stat. It is the goals that they've conceded, and that defense has been amazing. You know. And I think the real genius in Conte is that he's really started the defense in the midfield. With the way he set that midfield up is just immense. You know, immense. What a front line for the defense that midfield has been. Just superb, yeah. And
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at the likes of guys Anguissa and Lobotka. I mean, unsung heroes. McTominay still has been a little bit more in the eye because of him coming in from, you know, the EPL, the money that was spent on him. But look at what he's done with Lobotka and Anguissa. Fabulous. Like, he's made world beaters out of them, you know.
True.
Insane,
Bhai,
insane guy, dude.
Nidhi Manas, just moving on to your thoughts about the other teams in the league. तुम लोग के हिसाब से couple of questions. Which team was the most disappointing team according to you? Who was the most disappointing coach, and who was the most disappointing player or players in Serie A this year?
Disappointing according to me or as a neutral? Like, what do you think?
According to you, according to you, in whatever you watched, disappointing, सबसे disappointing team, coach or players?
देख टीम तो बहुत सिंपल है मेरे लिए. AC Milan.
Fair.
Like I didn't expect AC Milan to be this bad. Like how they faltered. And I'll be very very honest. Like इतना मैंने Serie A follow नहीं किया, but I mean I was surprised at how Roma resurrected themselves in a good way. Like it looked like Roma will be in the Champions League. And I'm sure DJ will have a few things to say. He's delighted that Roma is not there and Juventus is there. But throughout the season, Nidhi and me, whenever we used to speak about Serie A, हम लोग यही देखते थे, यार रोमा स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, डेरोसी चले गया, इधर बहुत ड्रॉज हो रहे हैं यूवेंटस के. दिस इज व्हाट वी नोटिस्ड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. बट AC मिलान तो मतलब गू खाया यार ये पूरा सीजन मेरे हिसाब से. एंड आई थिंक AC मिलान नीड अ open heart surgery now. They have to get rid of certain players, bro. मेरे को लग रहा है कि उधर अभी just get rid of certain players. Rafael Leao has to leave. I just feel वो हो गया. Like वो ले आओ मतलब बहुत चल रहा है वो. and Theo Hernandez के बारे में भी मैं बहुत लोग सुन रहा हूँ कि Theo Hernandez is not living up to the hype and this and that. I mean, you guys will know better, but I think clearly underachievers तो AC Milan ही है इस season.
And
अच्छा,
coach क्या लगता है? Which coach disappointed you all?
अच्छा, you're
Amongst
talking about
everyone.
Serie A.
About Serie A.
You're talking Serie A. Yeah, then it is AC Milan. यार coach के बारे में, if you ask me about the coach, it's a bit of a difficult answer also, because I think there should have been a little more patience with him. I think DJ would agree with me. I think Thiago Motta, because especially the way he started off was really impressive. He was not losing, and that usually ends well. But along the way, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि Juve lost a bit of the track. जैसे वो लोग कर रहे थे, start उन्होंने जैसे किया था, they just got a little disarrayed along the way.
Did Juve get a lot of injuries as well, Nidhi? You used to mention that.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि Juve had a lot of injuries. Bremer था, फिर they had 2 early ACLs, and बाद में they got a lot of injuries. So not exactly his fault per se, but it was a little surprising as to how Juve just lost their way. I'd have to say Motta as the manager, as the disappointing one, but I don't think he was completely at fault. Should have been given slightly more time. But Juve the problem with Juve is that it's been some time since they've won the Scudetto, no? So the fans are really antsy. That is working against them big time.
There's also one thing DJ I'm sure will add more light to it. When Vlahovic is signed for Juve ना, ऐसे लग रहा था कि he is going to be that next striker who consistently delivers, and वो बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ. And whenever I see any Vlahovic report, it is about him leaving. So अभी I think he's going to leave again, right? ये summer is going to be that summer again, DJ, where उसके links आएंगे.
अरे भाई तू मानस डीजे का तू कमेंट है यूवे के इंस्टाग्राम इस पे एक अभी पोस्ट किया है डीजे. इफ यू कैन जस्ट शेयर दैट यार, स्क्रीनशॉट भेजा क्या तूने? वो हैव यू सेंट अ स्क्रीनशॉट?
It's on the group page. You can share it on the.
भाई ये यूवे सोशल मीडिया टीम है ना, कुछ ज्यादा वोग बन गई है. अभी चैंपियंस लीग क्वालिफिकेशन बाकी है एंड दे आर पोस्टिंग स्टफ विद बलून्स.
It's a cultural shift, guys. Also, taking from what Nidhi said, there are so many things when you start a new project and they try to pinpoint it on the coach, which is unfortunate. But also, Nidhi, just to your point, so the idea was actually not to let go of Motta, but there was a meeting that he had with the management, and unfortunately, he was refusing to accept any blame in terms of where things are going wrong, and he said, I will repeat the same patterns again. Which is when the management kind of lost and said, because he wasn't playing Yildiz, he wasn't playing Thuram in important games, and they said, these players need continuity, they're the mainstays, you always start your game changers, right? And he said, I would not do anything differently. That's when there was a discussion, and it just said that, like, if your vision is so stubborn, it's not going to work. And that's where the, rift came. The idea was actually not to sack him, but yes, there are many parts at Juve that have to be fixed. But most importantly, it's the mentality at the team. It starts with the ownership, which is a little absent at the moment. The management has spent a lot of money. Like you guys said, injuries played a big part. So you spend 200 million and you have 2 ACLs in your defense. And then you go and you sold Huijsen for about 17.5 million. And now he's gone to Madrid. And everyone knew at the time that we were selling Huijsen, not a good sale.
Yeah.
So that added further pressure. And then to make things worse, we went and bought Kelly, And everyone's like, who the hell is Kelly? Like, what is this? When you have Huijsen, how can you go from Huijsen to Kelly? So a lot of that toxic behavior kind of came into the system, which to me has been very unfortunate. But when you start a project, you have to be patient. You can't, like, our pattern has just been, we sacked Allegri version 1, replaced him with Sarri. Sarri won the title. We sacked Sarri after winning the title. We hired Pirlo. Pirlo came fourth and he won a Super Coppa. He won the Coppa. He got sacked. So where is the space to actually build a project? And then you sack Pirlo and you bring Allegri back, which is then to go back to playing the old style. Then you bring Motta again and you sack him the minute things are like not going, to plan. you have to understand a project is a very broad term and it comes with a lot of variables.
Absolutely.
You have to take into account your injuries have played a role. It would have happened even if Conte was coach. It would be a
Hmm.
problem. You know,
It could happen
so
that
I think
it
we
could
just
happen
need
now
to be a
Conte
little
returns.
patient. Sorry.
It could happen that Juve go back and sign Conte again.
It's very likely, guys, or whatever rumors I'm reading, Tudor's already been informed. Apparently, Conte will be on the bench even at the Club World Cup. So
Of World Cup.
it's interesting, but I think it all starts with first qualifying for the Champions League. I don't even know if that is still up in the air. You're putting up social media about balloons and not dropping balloons. I mean, it shows where your head is at. I mean, so needs a real
What's
cultural shift.
what's balloon?
This. ये
What's
देख ये
that
देख
got
ये
to
देख
do with him?
ये देख ये
Balloon
देख.
challenge.
The deepest comment.
What the fuck is this? क्या ये है क्या? मेरे को कोई बताएगा क्या है ये?
It's
That's
a
Utter woke
cultural shift.
nonsense.
It's so
Engage.
unfortunate, guys, and you will know this better than anyone. What unfortunately is the case is that Italy, being as cash strapped a league as it is, you try
Yeah.
create that revenue flow from building a brand, and this is unfortunately the kind of tactical shift that clubs like Juve need to do to build that brand value, brand equity, brand appeal across the world to sell more jerseys and have more recognition. If they were playing in England, this wouldn't be the case. You get what I'm saying? Because your TV rights are affected, and which is why the tolerance at a club like Juve also is very little because you need that Champions League revenue to keep your project afloat, to sign players, to pay those wages, etc., etc. Which is why the tolerance level is so low.
ये मस्त है. Conte is also bringing Napoli social media manager along.
This is just what? This is just to engage with the Gen Z, something like that, I guess. I don't
It's
know.
that only, Nidhi. Yeah, just to build brand, na. और कैसे
यार,
brand build करे? You don't have the Serie A is struggling big time.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but कोई तो एक Milan game में which Milan lost and Rafael Leao was shit. Immediately after 1 hour after the game, he puts up a paid promo with an underwear brand. And वहां पे लोग comment करे भाई
Ridiculous.
एपिक भाई. मस्ती रुकनी नहीं चाहिए ब्रो.
नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं
और
रुकनी चाहिए मस्ती.
हमारे एंड में तो वही हम लोग सब वही पोस्ट कर रहे थे किस कलर की चड्डी पहने हो तुम. एंड आई थिंक द होल कमेंट सेक्शन इज फ्लडेड बाय मिलान.
अरे चड्डी से याद है यूवे या फिर एसी मिलान शुड गेट दैट आंटी ऑन बोर्ड ना. आज चड्डी नहीं पहने हो ना, लाइक ऐसे उसके साथ कोलैबोरेट कर दो.
हाँ करना ही. if you're going to post memes, then post them well.
Yeah. Get Puneet superstar. अगर करना है तो let's do it like.
Might as well go all out.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh भाई.
Do it
Yes,
well.
Mr. योगेश. कुछ बोल भाई. अभी तेरा ही दिन है आज. क्या प्लान है? पार्टी कहाँ पे?
कुछ नहीं, पार्टी अभी आज तो फैमिली के साथ में पार्टी है. एंड देन लाइक मैं सीजन को थोड़ा सा वो देख रहा था. तो फर्स्ट मैच जो था सीजन का, लाइक वी लॉस्ट 3-0 राइट अगेंस्ट हेलास वेरोना. एंड इट इज आफ्टर दैट लॉस दैट एक्चुअली De Laurentiis got a kick in his back and he brought in the players like McTominay, Lukaku, David Neres. They all came after that 3-0 loss against Hellas Verona. So I think De Laurentiis needs to put his head right and just stay quiet or do something like common sense. उसके अंदर कैसे डाले हम लोग? I don't know that.
तेरे को क्या लगता है कॉन्टे रुकने वाला कि जाने वाला है?
I hope he stays यार. I hope he stays. And जो कॉन्टे के ऊपर
खबर बता दो अंदर वाली खबर थोड़ा लॉन्ग आंसर इसका ये है कि इफ वी आर एंडिंग अप साइनिंग केविन डे ब्रून राइट एंड उसके भी स्ट्रॉन्ग रूमर्स आ रहे हैं एंड इफ दैट हैपेंस देन आई थिंक कॉन्टे विल डेफिनेटली स्टे. But if for some reason that does not happen, then I don't think so Conte would stay. And like he will definitely demand a huge transfer kitty here. And I don't think so if Napoli can do it or cannot do it. I don't know the answer to that. But
But I really want, as a fan, I just want him to stay. Like uske par, like there is only one unconquered territory, that is Europe for him. And if he does a deep run in Europe with Napoli, it would be something else only. Yeah.
एक प्लेयर है जो केसा ले लो ना, केसा ले लो तुम लोग हमसे प्लीज.
only
वो भी
50
लिंक
only 50 million.
लिंक्स
Only
तो है ना
only
किएजा.
only 50 million euros ले लो केसा. प्रीमियर लीग मतलब विनर है भाई वो, क्या बोल रहे हो तुम लोग, लाइक चैंपियन भेज रहे हैं हम तुम्हें. एक प्रीमियर लीग स्टार्ट, एक गेम स्टार्ट किया वो भाई, ओके, एक पूरा मैच.
Guys,
Param
but
will
you know,
join you with-
Chiesa, very, very unfortunate. You know, after the ACL, he's not been the same player, but
Yeah, he's
very
not been
good
the same.
player on his day. It's been very, very unfortunate what has.
Bro,
happened
DJ,
to him
like
on his
DJ,
career.
like 2020, 2021 is, she was amazing, bhai. He was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
crazy, bhai.
He's
But
not been the same player, yeah, after that man. Just
he's,
not.
yeah. But whenever he plays for Liverpool, जितना भी उसको छोटी appearances मिलती है ना, so दिखता है जब हमारी टीम आगे भाग रही होती है ना काउंटर पे, he is like 1 yard behind. एंड जब वापस हमारी टीम पीछे डिफेंड करने जा रही होती है ना, तब वो आगे पहुंचता है. सो ही इज सो स्लो भाई, लाइक राइट नाउ आई फील बैड फॉर हिम.
To be fair, he never got a fair chance at Liverpool yet. I mean, he hasn't. Let's
Yeah,
be
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
खेला ही नहीं है वो. And I remember speaking with DJ when he signed for Liverpool, and he's a little he. I mean, this move he doesn't understand because वो यूवे में भी खेल नहीं रहा था, and then यहाँ पे भी आके पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है वो. So Chiesa का it's a see our owners can't resist a deal. उनको दिखा अरे 14 million में Chiesa मिल रहा है तो ले लेंगे ये लोग. मतलब जरूरत है नहीं है, उसका प्रोफाइल जरूरत नहीं है, वो लोग ले आएंगे. एंड आई फील बैड फॉर Chiesa ब्रो. उसको चांस ही नहीं मिलता बेचारे को. तो फिट भी कहाँ से रहेगा, कितना ट्रेनिंग में वो. मतलब there are times when we've got on like defenders as forwards and Chiesa bench पे बैठा हुआ है. तो कहाँ उसको चांस ही नहीं मिलता है. He doesn't get his.
अरे दीदी, प्रीमियर लीग मेडल मिल रहा है और
हाँ,
बहुत
वो
पैसा कमाया, वो बहुत पैसा कमाया है. 120K पर वीक भाई. ऐसी जिंदगी मेरे को मिल जाए ना भाई, 2 साल के लिए बस.
हाँ.
2 साल बस.
Better. Just taking a few comments. Thanks for your contribution, Arman. अरमान तो अपना मैनेजर चिपका रहे हैं. आदि उत्तर ले लो भाई. भाई अभी गैस्परिनी चाचा आएंगे, रोमा आएंगे तो आएंगे. देखो
Gasperini will be blockbuster bro. अजय
blockbuster है. आएगा तो मजा है.
हाँ.
ओमपुरी meets Jeffrey Epstein, but मजा
हाँ.
आएगा.
हाँ.
आएगा तो. YDL is drunk on prosecco. यार YDL पीता नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम वही है, बस पिलाता है वो. तो जब वो बॉम्बे आएगा, मुंबई आएगा तो हमको पिलाएगा, उसने बोला है, as champions of Italy. Just एक और question before I move to Param. Ajay bhai, will AC Milan qualify? यार Milan will not qualify for any European competition next year. Champions League में जाएगी one of Juve, Roma और Lazio. Europa League में भी one of the 3 teams. या Conference League में भी one of the 3 teams जाएगी. Whoever finishes 6th goes into Conference League because Bologna won the Coppa Italia, so they are playing in the Europa League. And one of Juve, Roma or Lazio will go to the Conference League. Milan, no Europe. Speaking of which, commiserations Param, finishing second last night. बहुत उम्मीद थे यार, but unfortunately it was Napoli's year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, credit तो देना चाहिए. I think first of all, obviously, I think योगेश गायब हो गया फिर से, अपना पीस बोल के हमेशा की तरह स्टाइल में चला गया वापस वो.
But is super heated, guys. We'll join back in a bit.
yeah. नहीं यार, I think congrats to Yogesh and Napoli. I think obviously on पूरा, अगर आप पूरी पिक्चर देखोगे तो as I think everybody discussed on the panel, they deserve it as well because 10th से फर्स्ट प्लेस लेके जाना ये सेरिया में कभी हुआ नहीं है. ये स्टार्ट भी कल डाला था. The best was 7th place to first, which Conte only did at Juventus. DJY will surely remember that. So kudos to him. I mean, he brought out, I think, as Nidhi bhai said, the best out of a lot of average players. I mean, it's crazy. अगर आप देखोगे 2025 में हुआन हेसुस जैसा प्लेयर दोस्त बोल सकता है मेरे पास 2 स्कूडेटो है, which if you compare is the same as Lautaro Martinez or a Lukaku. It's crazy actually if you really think about it. So kudos to Conte on that. I mean, कल भी मैं नापोली का गेम तो नहीं देख रहा था. I'll be very honest with you. मैंने जो प्रेडिक्ट किया था, याद है अजय भाई आपको, I predicted कि both teams would win and eventually Napoli would win the Scudetto. That's exactly what happened. I mean, I was obviously group chat पे चल रहा था अपना, people were saying Cagliari are doing a good job, and they were actually doing a good job. और एक point पे obviously Inter थी top of the table for a very brief moment. De Vrij opened the scoring against Como, और फिर control में था game, ऐसा तो कोई issue नहीं था. But I think overall we have our selves to blame थोड़ा कि लाजियो को last weekend हरा सकते थे, वो match throw away कर दिया, बीसेक का handball. There are obviously controversial refereeing calls against us, but then that happens throughout the league, right? Ajay bhai, like Roma Inter, you remember how much you and me debated over that penalty, which obviously it was, but then all of us have had wrong calls go against us, right? All of our clubs. So, barring the refereeing errors, I mean, Inter इस साल लीग में सॉलिड नहीं थी लास्ट सीजन जैसे. वी कंसीड अ लॉट ऑफ लेट गोल्स लाइक आफ्टर द 60th मिनट, एंड आई थिंक वी पेड द प्राइस फॉर दैट. पर आई थिंक वो लास्ट गेम में, लाजियो वाले गेम में, अजय भाई आपने देखा अर्नाटोविच ने क्या सिटर मिस किया, राइट? He scores that goal, we beat Lazio, and we are talking about a different game altogether. We are probably looking at playoffs or a different champion. So I think largely we kind of have ourselves to blame. मैंने उस दिन जो निधि भाई को बोला था मैंने इन द मॉन्ग पे कि आई थिंक आप जब 5 कॉम्पिटिशंस के लिए ओपनली एम करते हो, आपको थोड़ा रियलिस्टिक भी रहना पड़ता है विद द स्क्वाड यू हैव. It's a good squad, it's a very mature squad, but you have to ask yourself some questions. Is it good enough to compete on 5 fronts? I'm including the Club World Cup that is to come. तो I mean, उधर ही सुपर कोपा में आप थोड़ा रोटेट कर सकते थे, कोपा इटालिया में आप रोटेट कर सकते थे, आप डिस्टेंस में गए दोनों कॉम्पिटिशंस में और आपने एनर्जी वेस्ट करके उधर आप मार खा गए बेसिकली. So, I mean, see, it is what it is. I think Napoli deserve it. 4th Scudetto, 2nd Scudetto in 3 years, so you can't fault them for anything. I think obviously, given where Inter is, where Inter's level is, you should have more trophies to talk about it, like because our level is very high currently. And अगर आप trophy less end करते हो तो obviously it doesn't feel right. But I feel अभी एक ही focus है. Obviously, there is nothing else left. The Champions League final, तो we have quickly moved on from it, just like the players and our coach has yesterday. If you read any of the press conference as well, we have to channel that, focus, whatever that is left from the defeat, and completely direct it towards the Champions League final. Yeah.
True. I think जैसा तूने बोला, the whole picture change after Lazio game, man. I mean,
yeah.
यार निधि वो गेम देख के मेरे को मैं खुद डिप्रेशन में गया देख के. इतना चूतिया गेम था वो. Literally, Arnautovic, as a professional footballer, how can you miss from 2 yards? It was easier to, not miss from that range. And then, of course,
we know about professional footballers missing from 2 yards. We know very well. वो हमको पता है.
But Param, मेरे को एक बात बता ना. Do you think now this kind of heartbreak affects Champions League?
यार somewhere yes, but I feel, see, मैं ना इस टीम को ज्यादा ट्रस्ट करता हूँ in that sense कि yes, they will bounce back right away. बट मेरा से मेनली वही टेंशन रहता है मानस भाई कि ये सीजन थोड़ा इन जनरल वो फिजिकल डिप रहा है. मोर देन मेंटल, इट्स अबाउट द फिजिकल थिंग फॉर मी. Like mental side of things, I do not really question that team as much in the Champions League, because in the Champions League हम सब ये डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, इंटर एक अलग लेवल पे खेलता है और सेरिया में एक अलग लेवल पे खेलता है. अनफॉर्चुनेटली अगर दोनों सेम लेवल पे खेलते तो शायद स्कूडेटो हाथ में होता अभी. But yeah, mentally I don't doubt them, because I know Inter has a bunch of top professionals, your Mkhitaryan's, your Pavards, your this thing, your Thurams, Lautaros, Dumfries. Now, only thing is, obviously, you are facing a very good team. आप लोग भी PSG को खेल चुके हो. You guys faced a PSG that was just moving out of its issues as well at the time. So, this is a very technically gifted team. This is a team that is that can win another trophy tonight if they win the Coupe de France. तो भाई मतलब वो एक अलग challenge होगा. I mean, अगर आप list of stats बनाओ, अजय भाई के साथ मैं बार बार डिस्कस करता हूँ, तो all the stats are pitted against us. All that stuff, like every time a final has happened in Munich, a new team has won the Champions League, all that stuff.
Yeah.
तो पूरा like वो मीम होता है ना, like पूरा लिस्ट दिखोगे तो पूरा बड़ा बिल जो फ्लोर तक जाता है ना, वैसा टाइप का लिस्ट बन जाएगा अगर ऐसे स्टैट्स डालोगे तो. बट ऑल दैट डजंट मैटर. Like, see, again, I trust them mentally. My only doubt is how these guys turn up physically on the day and the availability of the squad. If let's say Pavard is not fully fit, he's still injured, then I will be a bit concerned, because Bisek error prone player है. अजय भाई ने देख लिया है, सब लोग ने हम लोग के पैनल पे देख लिया. He's not that great. He's an up and coming player. Lautaro Martinez still not fully fit. मतलब he got injured after the Barcelona game. So बहुत doubts है. Physically ठीक हो जाए तो I will be confident. I think mentally only thing is like जैसे अगर like I would say कि late goals concede करना बंद कर दे बस और कुछ नहीं. चैंपियंस लीग में अच्छा किया but against the top teams you can avoid some silly things like even against Barcelona as good as Barcelona are of course. वो second goal मुझे याद है first leg में जो इसने मारा था फेरान टोरेस ने उस पर डिफेंडिंग बेटर हो सकती थी. सो या आई एम नॉट दैट वरीड. अभी जो मैंने उसी दिन मैंने मॉन्ग पे बोला था जो होना है वो होगा भाई. ट्रॉफी आए तो है नहीं तो ट्रॉफी लेस. बहुत देख लिया इंटर को. बहुत खराब दिन भी देख लिए इससे तो आई मीन इतना बुरा भी नहीं लगता. बट होपफुली वी कैन एंड विद द चैंपियंस लीग ट्रॉफी. योगेश आ गया वापस वापस. कुछ है क्या? ड्रिंक है क्या साथ में यार?
योगेश कहाँ पीता है
नहीं
यार? योगेश
नहीं,
अरे
हमारा
which one?
फोन गॉट सुपर हीटेड यार.
योगेश तेरा प्रेडिक्शन देख क्विकली. इंटर पीएसजी क्विकली, डोंट थिंक.
इंटर.
अरे इसने चले जिंक्स है उसका पूरा. बट कांग्रेस योगेश. हाँ बोलो बोलो मानस भाई.
I think मेरे को भी लग रहा है आई थिंक इट विल बी अ रिपीट ब्रो ऑफ जो इंटर सिटी वाला फाइनल टाइप्स वैसा गेम होगा बट इंटर विल स्कोर द गोल. आई थिंक 1-0. आई एम गोइंग फॉर 1-0 इंटर. आई थिंक आई नो म्यूनिक वाला है जैसे चार बार फाइनल हुआ, 4 नए विनर हुए, उसमें दो बार इटालियन टीम्स वर ऑन द लूजिंग एंड एज वेल. सो
there is two more stats I'll give you, Manas. By the last time a French and Italian team squared off in a European Cup / Champions League final, the French team won. Marseille, AC Milan. The last time Spurs won the Europa League. Every time Spurs have won the Europa League, 3 times Italians have been in the Champions League final, and all Italian teams have lost on that.
Let's just कहीं ना कहीं तो ये ट्रेंड तो आई थिंक एंड होगा. ये ट्रेंड एंड होगा ब्रो. एंड आई just get the feeling experience bro, just the experience of Inter is a lot more. I just think the project as well. I think it has reached the crescendo भाई. You know, like आप एक बार फाइनल में हार रहे हो, आप लीग जीते हो, आप लीग 1 पॉइंट से हार रहे हो. I relate to it a lot as a Liverpool fan under Klopp. कि आप एक लीग 1 पॉइंट से हार रहे हो, फिर आप जीते हो, फिर आप चैंपियंस लीग फाइनल हारे, फिर आप नेक्स्ट ईयर जीते. So I see a lot of similarities and I see जो DJ एक बात बोल रहा था ना about Juventus की, मतलब there is no sense of you know कि प्रोजेक्ट क्या है. ओके, इंटर का प्रोजेक्ट दिखता है. इंटर का प्रोजेक्ट दिख रहा है जिसमें आपका मैनेजर इज द की एंड देन आप द वे यू साइन प्लेयर्स एंड एवरीथिंग इज वेल. सो आई जस्ट थिंक इट इज एवरीथिंग इज लीडिंग टुवर्ड्स इंटर विनिंग इट.
होपफुली. बट योगेश क्या बोलता है यार? और क्या कुछ पार्टी वार्टी नहीं?
अब पार्टी तो तुम्हारे साथ में ही करूंगा.
ओह वाह. इसका नाम
नहीं यार, चैंपियंस लीग फाइनल्स देखते हैं यार साथ में हम लोग. प्लान्स उसके बनाते हैं. आई रियली लाइक, आई एम नॉट जिंक्सिंग और समथिंग बट आई थिंक इंटर हैव अ वेरी गुड स्क्वाड एंड जैसे मानस इज सेइंग दे हैव रीच्ड अ क्रेसेंडो and I think topping up that with whatever Inter has done in the past few years with a Champions League win would be something else. So not jinxing, I'm just like as an Italian Serie A fan, I'm just hoping that Inter wins it.
यार एक सबके लिए बस अजय भाई मैं क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूँ पैनल पे. लाइक नापोली पे वापस. हाँ बोलो
Manas has to leave, but before Manas leaves, I just want to play a quick game of guess the player, and this is to both Manas, Nidhi, and the chat.
Guess the player भी मरवाएगा तू यार.
ये आजकल हमारे थोड़ा जूम इन करो अजय भाई. आई थिंक यू हैव टू जूम इन. हाँ ये भाई ये किसको डाल दिया आपने?
ये क्या है भाई? भेंडी.
So I have blanked out the certain clubs, but you can ask me questions about the player. क्या which position? Nationality नहीं बताऊंगा.
He has to be a midfielder.
He is a midfielder.
Las Palmas.
Italian है क्या? Italian player?
Yeah, but that makes it that easy. It makes it very easy if I say he's Italian.
Does it? Sporting में 1 साल, सासुओलो, पाल्मास, मिलान on loan 11-12 सीजन. अरे वो बोटैंग.
No, it's not Boateng.
ये this is obviously somebody जो थोड़ा older है.
हाँ.
So I'm going for Del Toro. It's not.
ये सासुओलो
हिंट दो अजय भाई. और मुझे भी I'm a bit this
You
thing.
ask questions. I'll not give any hints. Questions पूछ.
अरे यार
You said he was. You said he's Italian, right?
Italian midfielder.
अबे कहीं टिका ही नहीं है ज्यादा टाइम से, वो ऊपर टिका है वो
डीजे भाई
2002।
यूए प्लेयर कम ऑन डीजे भाई.
हाँ, Juve and Milan both.
सब सर्च करो, सब सर्च करके बताओ भाई लोग।
सर्च ही करना पड़ेगा भाई.
हाँ।
ये सर्च भी कैसे
अच्छा,
करेंगे, मैं तो
This,
सोच
this
रहा
is
हूँ.
हाँ।
a very simple player. मतलब when the name is revealed, you're like, यार, this was so easy.
कौन है ये?
लास्ट पाल
Italian
मिलान
player
1 साल,
और
यूवेंटस 1 साल। वो अच्छा एक काम कर, क्लू पूछ, वो पहला क्लब बता दे 2002-2009 से।
वो बता दूंगा तो पता चल जाएगा. बट इतना
तो
बोल
किसी
सकता
को
हूँ कि
पता ही नहीं चल रहा ना।
वो एकेडमी से काफी सारे प्लेयर्स आए, इटालियन प्लेयर्स, वेरी रिनाउंड
अरे
एकेडमी.
भाई किसी को पता नहीं चल रहा है, इसलिए तो बोल रहे हैं बता दे कौन सा है पहला क्लब।
that's too easy, but चलो बता देता हूँ for
अरे
everyone's sake.
एक सेकंड,
चलो
ये
यार
कहीं,
बताना।
एक सेकंड, ये कहीं एक्विलानी तो नहीं है?
It is Aquilani. It is Aquilani.
अरे
यार
क्या बात है.
इसीलिए ये क्लोज टू होम फॉर.
ये सासुओलो लोन और लास पाल्मास वो एंड में साला एक्विलानी गया था उधर.
Yes.
शर्म,
You're right.
तेरे को शर्म आती है निधि कि तू एक्वालानी के करियर को फॉलो कर रहा है।
भाई उससे इतनी उम्मीदें थी, हम लोग को लगा कुछ करेगा वो.
इसमें अगर, हाँ इसमें एक्चुअली अगर लिवरपूल दिख जाता तो हम लोग कर देते। हाँ सही
अरे
बात
आज
है।
अपने सब कैट्स. हाँ.
This is
See you
a
boys.
little more tougher, by the way. This is a
एक
little more
और ये
tougher.
लिवरपूल
Last one.
लिवरपूल है क्या इसमें भी?
So there is a Roma Liverpool connection in this.
आई थिंक मानस भाई, हाँ मानस भाई वेट लेफ्ट. ये श्री गैलेटासराय मिडल्सब्रा. Any
2008
guesses?
में रिटायर हो
I
गया.
blanked 3 clubs. उसमें से मैंने ऑलरेडी बोल दिया रोमा लिवरपूल कनेक्शन है.
हाँ लिवरपूल है ऑलरेडी.
तो 2 तो वही हो गया. चलो मैं तीसरा भी बोल सकता हूँ. इट इज अ राइवल क्लब ऑफ वन ऑफ द क्लब्स.
अरे भाई ये तो
PSV player who
He's a
played for
defender.
Roma.
Defender.
हाँ clearly.
Clearly defender.
या
सोच रहा
ये
हूँ,
टफ है ना.
बहुत टफ है ये. मिडल्सब्रो
ये टफ है.
चलो एक
Yeah,
क्लू
Real
देता हूँ.
Oviedo in
He is
96.
हाँ. DJ he was part of the World Cup squad 98 for his national team. And he's known for his iconic hairstyles.
ये टफ है.
आइकॉनिक हेयर स्टाइल्स.
Yes.
आइकॉनिक है. एक मिनट.
And चलो एक और हिंट देता हूँ तुमको. Nationality is Portuguese.
वो समझ गया आई थिंक देख के, क्योंकि काइंड ऑफ लाइक पहले दो में स्टार्टिंग आउट से मैं वही डिड्यूस करता हूँ. मैं आई थिंक वो
Is this Abel Xavier?
Yes.
वही
it is
लग रहा है
Abel.
ना. वो द फंकी ही गाय. Oh
He
fuck.
played for Everton. He played for Everton.
Yeah, he played for.
Abel
Yeah.
Xavier.
Yeah. Ajay bhai, you should pull up a picture of his hairstyle, I feel, and show it to some
He
of the.
does good color his hair a lot, yeah, Param.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. वो तो है. Like it was though funky.
Absolutely funky man.
But-
ये अपना टाइम का रॉक स्टार था यार. मतलब ऐसे फिगर्स है नहीं आजकल गेम में. You don't have these mavericks in the game
यार
anymore.
आजकल तो ऐसा मतलब आजकल ऐसा कोई करेगा तो उसको तो 10 they label them and individuality तो is dead ना in football now, in style and expression.
No point,
both.
yeah, Nidhi. Now they'll get like new pronouns and stuff.
Yeah.
योगेश
Exactly.
एक काम कर भाई. योगेश स्कूडेटो के नाम पे यही कर दे भाई. ऐसा कुछ हेयर स्टाइल कर दे भाई. ब्लू नापोली कुछ तो कर दे. We need this. कर दे चलेगा यार.
Dude, I
Look at that.
personally, so on the Champions League final, no, I want Inter to win, and a lot of people, when I say this, a lot of people are like, "Oh, because PSG beat Liverpool." ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Inter has also beaten Liverpool at Anfield, by the way, not so long ago. And Inter, I really like their project. I like the players. I personally think Serie A ko, a lot of people think of the Italian league, the Serie A as a, like, oh, I mean it's almost look Serie A पता है कैसा है? Indian households में it's like the salad plate. People will only look at it when they're bored, or they will want like the cucumber pieces out of it. But Serie A mein hamesha bolta hu, it's such an interesting league. There's so much to look at. There's so many, or they will look at, oh, can we buy this player from that team and that player from that team? And for example, Barella le lenge, Bastoni le lenge, Tonali le lenge, because that's how they look at the Serie A. It's not a mall. So I like Inter. I would like to see Inter win it, but somehow I just feel PSG, it's their year, man. I think they are
पता
a
लग
lot more balanced. They are just a lot more balanced. सीरिया के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा होगा अगर इंटर मिलान या कोई भी टीम अगर चैंपियंस लीग जीतती है. इट्स बीन अ लॉन्ग टाइम since an Italian team won the Champions League. What was it, 2010?
yeah,
Inter ही
Inter
जीती
only
थी
Inter,
ना.
won it last.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been
Inter,
15 years. Yeah, it's been
yeah,
15 years, yeah. So
yeah, crazy.
I yeah, I think it will be great if Inter can win it, but somehow I just feel it is PSG's year, man. They just
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
think
they
I
are in
think
a,
Nidhi, to what you're saying, it's the problem with like what I'm finding about like what I'm feeling about Inter. Actually, Param and I also discussed this. Is this has not been a very humble team in the way
yeah.
they've gone about their business. Mentally, I don't think Simone has managed this team well enough to kind of keep them grounded. And at every as we went into the last stage of the season, Inter, even the players thought we'll like, okay, let's play third gear, we'll hit fourth gear when it matters, and they've not been able to make that shift. You know, a lot of that is down to their arrogance, where they're thinking that they are above everyone in Syria. And yeah,
Hmm.
whatever we are saying about the project, but at the end of the day, if you look at what this project has been 4 to 5 years, they have only one Scudetto to show for it. For the talent that they have and the way they've gone about business, there should have been more titles in that plate. That's
True.
one. The second thing is because of the last 2 seasons, where they've thought it's a given what how last season went. They're like, yeah, it's a matter of time before we, hit our stride. But it's not happening, because they've gotten stuck now in that zone of lot of self-doubt has kind of creeped in the way that the league has ended. Actually, I told Param this also, what my reading was. Well, I thought Inter will either do the double or they will get nothing. A lot of that is down to, actually, for me it wasn't the Lazio game. Yeah, it was the Roma game that changed a lot as far as I'm concerned, where you know they came in. It was a very important game because the 5 games to play, it was a must win game for them. And when you saw how they showed up, they just didn't have a reaction. A lot of it was like, yeah, chal, we'll let this game go. We'll preserve ourselves. We'll hit it in the next game. Hua hi nahi, you know. So how do you, when you go down that little rabbit hole, it's very hard to pull yourself up mentally again and say, okay, now Champions League, now we'll hit our stride. You've lost that momentum already. It's very crucial momentum when you're talking about the last 4 or 5 games of the season. Whether that's in your league or whether that's in Europe. And I feel like that crucial momentum that they've lost, it's been lost also because Inzaghi's been stuck between resting players, between managing injuries, and between these guys beating Barcelona in extra time where they're fully gassed. They just don't have the legs on them. So I haven't seen much of PSG this season. Whatever little I've seen, they're very well oiled. And in fact, Param also pointed that out, that A, they're well oiled. B, they are now not a novice team. Luis Enrique has been here. He's won this championship before. Uh,
Correct.
the team by itself is very galvanized. That momentum, they're in that moment, that hard momentum phase. So of course it's a one-off. Anything can happen, but I
Which
think
is
PSG do start as favorites. Like
exactly.
it's
So,
going to be
so this
hard
is this
to
is
to,
this
to
is
kind of keep
Animesh's
them pinned
question.
for 90 minutes.
This is Animesh's question, Param. That's the year of the underdog
Hmm.
count for Inter. Then. Going in as underdogs for this game.
यार आई डोंट नो यार बट आई मीन वही है कि आई थिंक सी arrogance I feel mainly has come in the league because again I've said this as well before on the show कि most of the league games अगर आप देखो we showed up with that attitude कि ha chalo, mostly if we do the bare minimum, we'll win. And those are the games we drop points in. Like, I feel even against the big teams, we kind of took it for granted because ये season हमारा big teams के against record अच्छा नहीं था last season से अगर आप compare करोगे तो. Like, I think that Roma game, sure, I mean, again, there was a refereeing error, could have ended as a draw, but even then the attitude I did not like. Roma was slicing through our defense left, right, center. Roma could have won that game 2-0 as well. Bologna against, again, did not perform that well. वो पूरा stretch. AC Milan, again, AC Milan, there were at least 1-2 games अगर आप देख के बोल सकते थे कि एक डार्बी तो उसमें एक जीत ही सकते थे आप बीच में, उधर भी आपने मैस अप किया. But other than that, obviously they had the upper hand over us. So
UA game
yeah,
4-all.
yeah, that's the yeah, that has to be like the worst in terms of, I think, managing. One of the worst at least. मतलब आप 4-2 up थे, आप 5-2 up कर. I think DJ will agree कि Inter could have actually easily made it 5-2 and wrapped that game up, but missing chances. And I remember in the lead up to that game, I had said if you miss chances against Juventus, and that point Juventus was playing well against under Thiago Motta, right? Your Kenan Yildiz in form, everyone was doing well, and that's what happened. We pluffed our lines. UA made it 4-4. So वही है, ऐसे ऐसे अगर आप गेम्स मैस अप करते हो तो इट काइंड ऑफ बिकम्स अ साइन कि probably it's not your year in the league or whatever competition you mess up in. Like even in the Coppa Italia, I feel we were doing decent, but then वो second leg में AC Milan, again they had a game plan. They had to do their best to reach the final because that was their only shot of reaching a European competition eventually. So I think वो थोड़ा attitude का, I think mainly domestically issue रहा है. Again in the Champions League, I won't fault it so much because Champions League में एक अलग इंटर दिखाया आपको. Even that game we lost to Leverkusen, again the whole play was offside and the referee completely missed it, if you remember, Ajay bhai. That whole goal they scored towards the end, I mean there was a clear offside on it. So again, Champions League is a different story, so I don't want to fault the team entirely, but मैं बार बार यही बोलता हूँ कि जैसे डीजे मैंने बोला, you can't take PSG any less serious. Look at the talent they have. Look at how Vitinha is playing. Look at how a young player like Joao Neves is playing. Hakimi, former player. They're all talking of, like, I don't know if you guys have seen Dembele को एक Bein Sports के साथ एक interview था, and earlier this season he was asked which is that one team you're looking out for in Europe, and he straight away named Inter, and he tactically broke it down as well. So these guys have been studying us for a while now, like in general, whatever. I'm sure they watch clips of different teams. So definitely, yeah. And Ousmane Dembele himself, I think, again, all of us have discussed it. All of us have watched it. A very, in-form season for him. Crazy how he's put his injuries beside him. So, or you'll be facing a team whose main fullbacks also will cause problems, right? Like you have Nuno Mendes, again, Hakimi, ex-Inter, Joe. Free kicks, look, they're scoring from set pieces just like Inter. Marquinhos scored a header recently. They are scoring from set pieces. Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, both are good at free kicks. So it's they didn't start the season well, but it has become a very well-rounded team. It is technically gifted and it can cause a lot of problems. So what I will say just to close is कि भाई can't expect any less of an attitude. You can't back down. अगर आप underestimate करोगे PSG जैसे team को, then तो it's over. I don't think Inter will do that, but you have to be on your A game. You cannot allow any silly errors like Bisek has been doing against Lazio, or let's say Arnautovic missing a sitter. ये सब बकवास नहीं हो सकती. Even if you just that, there's absolutely no room for error in this final. Otherwise, it is PSG's to lose, and yeah, PSG do go into it as favorites. To answer your question very broadly, I feel it's like 51-49 or let's say 55-45 types PSG favorites. ऐसा कुछ बोलूँगा मैं.
And dude, one more thing.
What do you feel about where Inzaghi's head is at? Because when the Lazio equalizer happened, and apparently he made some statement about wanting to go away, and today Gazzetta is talking about links to United. Do you feel
Yeah, I think all
that's also impacting the dressing room somewhat?
No, not really. See, because I think DJ bhai kaisa hai na, media, I think all of our clubs have been targeted by Italian media at like crucial stage. It has happened to Juve, it has happened with Roma. Yogesh ko bhi pata hoga Napoli ke against. So it happens all the time. Like I remember when, just because we are on the Napoli video, I remember when Conte was our coach, he got a death threat before the Europa League semi-final, quarter-final against Leverkusen. He got a death threat with a bullet inside an envelope. So these kind of things kind of happen in Italy, all this nonsense. Like I know Al Hilal's president visited Milan to try to convince Simone Inzaghi to join them, but so far he's rejected them, as I said. So वो सब चीजें चलती रहती है DJ भाई. Like I'm pretty sure Simone Inzaghi knows there is no lack of interest in him. Like that has been there throughout the season. Let's be honest. Like who doesn't want a coach like him, right? Everybody wants. Like if there is an availability, that certain club will want him. I'm sure there are clubs that want our players as well, Barellas, Lautaros, but obviously they want to stay. So the point is, I don't think they're distracted by all this. They've been through all this before. I feel Gazeta. See, Gazeta is Gazeta. It's a very average source. Like they'll come up with any story. We know all this. So I don't think all that bothers the club. I think what bothers the club, if anything, if it does, is basically not being able to kind of confirm one trophy so far. And वो थोड़ा then it turns into desperation कि भाई अभी UCL final में कैसे तो भी जीतना है. And that should not hurt the club. Like that desperation could lead to that fine margin or error or whatever, could push them to victory. I just feel you can't get overly desperate and make some silly error which, hands PSG the trophy at the end of the day.
Dude, and one more thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to Inter and PSG, Param was talking about this a while back about the physicality. I think Inter are spent physically. They are done. And PSG, if you look at their midfield and you look at their forwards, they are relentless, man. I mean, I don't know how Inter deals. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big tactician, so I don't know how to break it down in terms of those terminologies. I don't see how, or if they do, it is going to be a hell of a task. How do they survive those attacks, man? I mean, Sherby, sure, he had his hero moment and everything. Bastoni is the only one, because other players, Dumfries is a little bit error prone, and जो form में Dembele है, जो form में the kind of stuff Desiree Doué can do, or even from the bench, if you get the kind of players that you get from PSG, I don't know, dude. I personally think it's going to be a little difficult for Inter. I want Inter to win, but like I said, I think it is going to be PSG.
Fair play. Costo is here as well. Costo, any thoughts on Napoli's?
If PSG wins, do you think that this time that Inzaghi's had at Inter is a failure? Param, same question to you. Do you feel that if they go trophyless, the legacy is not really cemented?
That is a discussion जो हमारे fan base में होते रहता actually quite often. Personally, मेरे लिए नहीं है, because again, to build this cycle at Inter has not been easy. Like nobody. Again, I'm the last person who built a proper cycle, really continuous cycle, was Mourinho, and you can even say Mourinho के पहले Mancini, really, honestly speaking, like who kick-started a cycle at Inter. Spalletti laid the groundwork, Conte laid the groundwork. He thought there was no vision, so he left. And he left for Tottenham, and then obviously he somewhat regretted his decision eventually down the line. Simone Inzaghi ka cycle, I don't think can be downplayed, because it's not easy to do that. In this first season, he made this one comment which many Interisti did not like, because that was his first season. He said, wherever I go, I win. I basically halve the losses of that particular club and I win trophies. Costo will know that quote as well. And that's factually correct. उसने Lazio में बड़े-बड़े players खोए. He again halved the losses and he won a trophy with Lazio as well. So I agree with Sam, brother. I don't know if I'll call it a failure, but yes, I think the earlier point you made, कि शायद in general in his tenure we should have had at least one more Scudetto, if not two, at least one more. वो Milan वाला more than I feel. Again, AC Milan deserved that Scudetto for that persistence, but I feel I have to remind everyone कि at that point, with few games to go, we had a 9-point lead over AC Milan and we blew it up basically. So obviously AC Milan deserve credit for their persistence, but we also kind of messed it up, right? So I think एक और Scudetto तो आना चाहिए था, और ठीक है बाकी ट्रॉफीज जीते, you can't fault that. You've still won the Coppa Italia twice, you won the Super Coppa thrice. वो भी important होता है, it builds a winning mentality. But yeah, I feel I don't know failure DJ, but थोड़ा underwhelming, yes, थोड़ा. But again, one last thing to close out, you have to consider what has he spent on the market really. Forget the wages. Again, I'll say this: we've barely spent overall, like बेच के खरीदा है basically. Like we've not bought without selling, right? Like Fratesi's and all these heavy investments came after selling. Again, the backup goalkeeper Josep Martinez is our highest spending this summer. So if you put all that into context, if he had a better market, you never know. Let's see, because if Oaktree is spending the way they do, you never know if he benefits from that, right? So that remains to be seen for next season.
Costo, bhai, your 2 cents on Napoli Scudetto, and where does it?
One last thing before I leave. I want Inter to win the Champions League, Because one very stupid conversation, and I'll use the word stupid, on social media is who should win the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
And I want those boo boys to crash and burn. If Inter wins the Champions League now, then all the narratives that you've built for certain players, this and that, I personally have no skin in the game. I think Golden Boots have won more fairly than Ballon d'Ors. That's my personal opinion. But just for that, those arguments to crash and burn, I want to see Inter Milan win the Champions League. It will be amazing. It will be glorious.
Fair, fair, fair.
Sorry, Kaustubh.
No, I feel like just speaking of Napoli, it is. हम लोग अभी we were talking about those decisive moments in Inter का season. We didn't speak of the point they dropped against Napoli, which
Yeah.
changed how the season went. Filling a goal that should not have gone in, a player who should not have been signed in the first place, who should have been sold by Bournemouth themselves last summer. जो भी उसका, he wasn't even playing for Iraola. So it's so random कि we speak of the drop points against the Orsolini goal, फिर अपना the Roma drop points. But that moment, that I think it came quite late in the game, right? काफी 80th moment के around, 80th minute के around.
82nd minute था 88 87 sorry 87
हाँ, something like that. Should not have gone in at all. वहाँ पे that was one point, and that is the margin by which Napoli have actually won the league. Funnily enough, and कितना random है. It's not a player who will be at Napoli. वो चला जाएगा. He'll probably go back to Bournemouth and get sold to, I don't know, Malmo or something like that. And he probably won't see the top 5 divisions of the game ever again. But he's won them the league by the kick of a ball. It's funny कि वो, and same, why Champions League is also decided by that. Could be another Davide Fratesi back post tap in of a Dumfries cross with deflects of I don't know, कुछ कोई भी. It's so random. Because Napoli started off with that 3-0 loss, and I remember laughing at how they were playing. हम लोग जब ग्रुप पे बात कर रहे थे कि Verona ran through their midfield.
We were laughing at Conte getting caught on camera calling Juan Jesus a thing.
And Verona ran through their midfield. चाचुआ का उससे करियर बनेगा.
Yogesh वही तो बोला कि after that loss is what prompted De Laurentiis to spend the money and buy McTominay,
Lukaku.
and build that team. Football is a funny game. मतलब सोच रहा है एक हिलास वेरोना ने ट्रिगर कर दिया और यहाँ पे एक फिलिंग पे एक गोल है.
And they were like a broken team last season, end of last season. Players wanting to leave, your Di Lorenzo ka agent giving interviews every 2 days, saying that Conte bhi aaya, tab bhi ye nahi rukne wala. And he ended up saying, matlab it was undoing every wrong that De Laurentiis himself has done. That game last season, उसने जो he went to the dressing room saying that everyone's up for sale. De Lorenzo took offense. Agent को बोल दिया. Conte made sure कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. Kept Quara despite the fact that PSG had an offer on the table. Uska agent got the offer to Napoli. They said no. Quara himself said no. So it's like a lesson in management. Even if you're the higher ups, mess up things, you can still win the league. Even if it's a one-off. Even if he's doing everything to somehow pull you down, kuch bhi karke. He'll want you gone in the summer as well, probably. He'll go to Juve or wherever he wants to go. But this one season, it's like it's a lesson in how management works. You be it people management, tactical management of your resources. I mean, what an overperformance.
Cool. Nidhi bhai has to give me your closing thoughts on what has been a crazy Serie A season, man. I mean, एक last set of games बाकी है, Champions League qualification बाकी है, अभी भी relegation बाकी है, but overall, your thoughts on the 24-25 season?
I will say what I always say. Please, Italian football देखना शुरू करो. I mean, if you guys think that this is some boring league, some nondescript players play. I mean, it's not a mall. It's not like a It's not an afterthought. It's genuinely some absolutely amazing players play in this area. आपको अगर अच्छा डिफेंस देखना है, आपको अगर अच्छा अटैक देखना है, आपको एक्साइटिंग कैटनेसियो जो स्टाइल देखना है, वो आपको सारा कुछ मिल जाएगा इटालियन लीग में. Genuinely, I will also say on one more thing. और अगर आपके पास इटालियन लीग देखने का टाइम नहीं है, आपको आप सीरिया देखने का टाइम नहीं है, तो कुछ लोग हैं जो बहुत रेगुलरली कंटेंट बनाते हैं सीरिया के ऊपर. तो वो यही लोग हैं, कैल्सियो चर्चा, एम टॉक स्पोर्ट. प्लीज go ahead and subscribe to their content, man. I mean, itna to banta hai. These guys are an amazing bunch of people. So all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and you get to hear some amazing stories, and you get to hear some amazing discussions. मैं इनका content देखता हूँ और मैं comment नहीं करता हूँ. I'm not a comment person because I'm usually working and listening to stuff. But believe me, they are doing an amazing amazing job. So please go ahead and subscribe to them. These are my closing thoughts.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nidhi bhai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bhai. And we'll catch up
Thank you so
with
much.
you soon.
See you soon. See you.
See you, bro. See you guys. Bye bye.
See you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, Nidhi.
Let's take
Bye,
some
DJ.
comments, Ajay bhai.
Bye.
Yeah, let's take
Yes,
some
yes.
comments, Ajay bhai. People are even the Hakan penalty, and yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely kind of also that was key because Hakan usually does not miss. Uh,
ये
Joao
तो भाई
Felix somehow manages. योगेश सही है ना, मतलब नापोली के स्कूडेटो स्ट्रीम पे भी जोआ फिलिक्स आ गया, मतलब आई थिंक उसको अलग ही
inevitable.
ट्रॉफी मिल. Yeah. Instead of, yeah, I mean, he has a fair point saying Milan should definitely play more of their youth. I agree. Transfer market, I don't know. Like, see, I will say, मतलब, it's too early, but I would definitely say defense में investment लगेगा. Backup strikers, Korea Arnautovic, simple answer for you. You have to sign a good backup striker, convincing enough. एक defender तो लगेगा because Acerbi, De Vrij are not getting any younger. So yeah, I mean, wing back and midfield seems sorted because Petar Sucic is there. Let's see if they want to replace Aslani, then we'll see. Take the conversation from there. Yeah, देखते.
Boys,
Next.
so one last time this season, we will be going and doing our predictions. One last time this year.
Oh, we have.
मतलब
By the way, Ajay, before we do this, I just want to ask the panel one question. हम लोग अपने end of the season awards तो करेंगे बराबर से, all that is there. But for you guys, because again this is a Napoli stream, so I feel थोड़ा उनको और credit देना चाहिए. I feel who do you guys, just individually in your opinion, if you guys want to give a brief opinion, who do you who or what was your most clutch moment for Napoli where you looked at them and you saw, like this person or this moment, this is where Napoli are certainly kind of going to, win the Scudetto or at least make a convincing charge up until the end. Starting with anyone of you guys can start. Ajay, bhai, you
Yeah,
want
I'll
to
go
go ahead?
first.
because I'm
Like,
going to hop off. But
Yeah,
I
DJ, bhai,
think
go ahead. If you're caught up, I think you should
yeah,
go ahead first.
yeah. I just think I think it was very clear once that 3-love loss happened at the start of the season and the reinforcements started coming in thick and fast. I saw a little bit of tactical agility from Conte, even though I don't normally attribute him to be that kind of coach. And I've seen how he's deployed McTominay, right? Like, I think he had a very clear line of focus in terms of how he was going to use the personnel coming in. I've seen him play in line with Lukaku. In that, he's normally married either to the 3-5-2 or the 4-2-4. But to see that flexibility in how he was deploying these players, I think very early on, you kind of knew that he's onto something. You just didn't know how deep into the campaign he'll figure it out. And I think fortunately for Conte, it happened sooner rather than later, because if we are just to review the stats, I think Napoli led this competition for about 20 match days. Over a total, I think Inter was second at about 9 match days. So I just think that when he cracked it, then it didn't really matter about how they're going to do about the big teams, because you knew that he had it figured out against the small teams. That flexibility is really what got him over the line. And Scudetto, for me, the title is always about what you do against the Cagliaris, what you do against the, that lot, the Lecces, etc. And I think just, once Conte cracked it, you just knew that he's going to have like a good run. Of course, supported by the fact that there was no Europe. It would have been interesting to see how they would have been.
Yeah.
One key signing, I think, for me is, of course, it has to be McTominay, because Conte is very clear with what he was going to do with him. But I think the real unsung hero of this Napoli midfield was Labotka. Anguissa also is going to be very interesting to see where he goes next. But Labotka for me was the real unsung hero of this team and this midfield.
भाई
fair enough.
इस पे डीजे के बाद में मैं बस एक ही ऐड करूंगा लुकाकू आई थिंक went under the radar got a lot of clutch goals lot of assists and यार Conte Lukaku man I mean this duo always wins things together and सच में बाप बेटा है and मेरे को तो वही लगता है कि you know maybe he might follow Conte wherever he goes next if he decides to.
DJ Bhai will be seeing Lukaku kiss the Juventus badge next, add to his collection, and he
Yeah,
might
Param,
become, I think.
honestly, I think Lukaku's an upgrade over Vlahovic. So given where
Yeah,
we are, I would
that's
take that
Yeah, that's true though. That's
with
true.
arms wide open. Hopefully
Yogesh,
Colomboani stays. Let's see.
योगेश उधर बोल रहा है भाई इधर मैं चैंपियनशिप जीता हूँ आई मीन सेरिया जीता हूँ और ये लोग बात कर रहे हैं यूवेंटस टेकिंग अवे कंटेंट लुकाको बेचारा मतलब दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड द अदर डे राइट आई फील
But you saw right the awkwardness.
आई
Conte
सो द
not
ऑकवर्डनेस
eye to eye.
योगेश usually denies all this but even you can't deny this योगेश that hug वो देख भी नहीं रहा था डेलोरेंटिस पे भाई मतलब वो देखे जा रहा है साइड पे एंड डेलोरेंटिस इज ट्राइंग टू hug him any thoughts on that योगेश
Acha, before Yogesh gives us just one last parting thought with the Napoli thing. I think with Conte this time he actually stuck around. मतलब हम लोग बोलते हैं कि
Yeah.
Conte will leave now, he will leave and go because
वो-
even he knows this was his last chance. कि अगर यहाँ फेल होता तो उसको आगे का जॉब मिलता नहीं था मतलब कहाँ पे भी जाए वो नापोली में रुके या यूए में जाए he would have not got another gig so he stuck around despite not looking eye to eye with De Laurentiis. I think he became very professional like DJ said even tactically he matured sometimes he did use the
But
back four occasionally.
fair play I think उतना तो मैं credit but also I also look at like hip Conte like this ना कि भाई if not Napoli like after this and now that UA want him but at that time UA didn't want him right Ajay bhai let's assume had his season gone badly or if he left halfway nobody I don't think any top club would have gone for him really because
Absolutely.
वो इस स्टेज पे पहुंच गए कि आप देख के बोलते हो भाई मैं वही बोलता हूँ योगेश बार बार कि आई पर्सनली डोंट थिंक ही शुड बी क्विटिंग नापोली एट ऑल इफ यू रियली आस्क मी he has a good job in his hands. He just kind of has to be mature for once. But obviously, I think he has Juventus waiting. So you can say if it's an equally good job or better job, whatever. But what if Juventus was not there? What if there was no top club waiting for him? That's the perspective I go. So, but kudos to him again. See, मैंने वही बोला before Yogesh. He went off the stream at that time. They deserve it. Conte did a great job. Yeah. So yeah.
Also, Param, I don't know if you guys know this. Giuntoli personally doesn't want Conte. Personally, Giuntoli wants either Gasperini or Mancini. It's Elkan who wants Conte.
Yeah.
So that's the irony in this whole thing because Giuntoli is coming from a place of wanting to build the project. He knows Conte is more a quick fix guy.
No, there is a chance that Giuntoli also might be on his way out, right? With certain.
I think unlikely. Yeah, I think there's a better chance Ricky Masaral can come in and they'll work together. It'll be like a bit like Marotta and Paratici, more like.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think
Yogesh.
Yeah, Yogesh, bol.
Yeah, man. I was saying कि this season has been surreal, right? I don't think so. Napoli had more than 4 points ka lead at any point throughout the season, and throughout the season, I think Napoli were never 3 points off behind Inter. And जो ये last 3-4 weeks में जो going from -3 to +3 and then reducing it to +1 ये जो points का transformation हुआ है it has been very taxing for both side of players for Inter as well and for Napoli as well. Luckily we are given the circumstances given the like footballing gods का थोड़ा fortune and luck के ऊपर से we got a +1 and we held on to it like even like Lazio वाले match day पे like Napoli was held to 0-0 nil-nil draw and Pedro did such a huge favor to
वो
Napoli.
वो
कि उसका भी एक
पेड्रो
म्यूरल
भाई
बनना चाहिए.
पेड्रो ने तो किया, बट भाई वो अचेरबी का एरर भाई, मतलब उसने तो प्लेट पे दे दिया पेड्रो को. बट अगेन आई वोंट फॉल्ट
Yeah.
अचेरबी टू मच, ही इज डन टू मच गुड फॉर दिस क्लब फॉर मी टू काइंड ऑफ क्रिटिसाइज हिम. बट नहीं
The
यार, जैसे तुमने बोला वो मेंटल एस्पेक्ट फॉर नापोली, दे हैड दैट दिस ईयर, वो
Yeah.
मेंटल एज जो
Guys,
So
कॉन्टे
winning
लाता है.
I
winning
actually
really makes you
तो
humble, huh? I've never seen Yogesh so humble, yeah.
या अभी वो
Losing
he
it.
knows.
Too much
No,
humility,
now
yeah,
he
Yogesh.
No, he knows now because he sees the real risk कि Conte शायद जाएगा. So he's valuing every moment. He's valuing the Scudetto. He's holding on to it. कोई योगेश क्या बोलता है अभी अभी थोड़ा हर एक मोमेंट वैल्यू
I'm
करेगा.
not. Today is not the day for to think about the future and worry about the future. Today is the
हाँ
day
सही है.
to enjoy what
Exactly,
we have done. So I'm just
exactly,
enjoying that.
exactly. You
भाई
should man.
तुमने एक मैराडोना को सैक्रिफाइस कर दिया और तुम 2 स्कुदेती जीत गए यार. मतलब तुम सोचो यार. I mean, what a time to be alive, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, let's quickly wrap up the remainder of the game one last time this season before we close the stream.
Yeah, so because obviously European race और relegation बाकी है. मैं थोड़े just comments quickly ले रहा हूँ. शिवम ने congrats बोला योगेश को. Ganesh, brings up Ajay Bhai's prediction. Conte will be gone by Ganesh Chaturthi. Only Costu was right with his prediction where he said De Rossi will be the first coach to be sacked in the Serie A, and he actually got it right. Costu,
Before
so
Ganesh.
kudos to before Ganesh Chaturthi. Yeah.
I
So
also said कि Roma won't get top four, Milan won't get top four. Roma can still get it, but Milan are already
Ajay
out.
Bhai, Ajay Bhai is going to now look for your location if Roma don't get top four.
No,
Your
I
ultimate,
honestly want Roma to get top four. I honestly want it.
you want,
Just
but
so
if your predictions come true, then you're not in a good place.
Lazio की जर्सी भी पहन ली.
ED to your house, income tax rate, सब लोग आने वाले थे इसमें.
But Kostub has been on a podcast wearing a Lazio jersey, so now he's in that race.
It's
But yeah,
actually a
let's
good
get on with
jersey.
Sorry, Costa. What did I miss? Just
Sorry?
say that again. What are you saying about Roma top four?
No, I said I want Roma to get top four, but season के start में I predicted कि they won't get it. But I'm not letting my ego come in between. I want Roma to get top four because of Ranieri.
Because of the
Good boy.
Yeah, fair enough.
And anyway,
Just very quickly,
I've got one Roma prediction right, so I don't want any other Roma predictions to go right.
yeah.
एक से चलेगा.
Right. But we'll see just very quickly, guys. The Super Coppa fixtures for the next season have been announced. Bologna, Inter, and Napoli, Milan. We lost Yogesh, but yeah, those are the fixtures in Saudi Arabia, obviously. So yeah. And just before we start, Ajay, somebody brought up the season awards, right? Because yesterday the official season awards were given out as well to players. Best goalkeeper, the best under 23 player of Serie A is Nico Paz. I think deservedly. We will do our own
नहीं
season
यार
awards on it.
परम where Keenan Yildiz, my countryman. He's from
No. I'm saying officially मिला जिसको मैं वो बोल रहा हूँ. Obviously, in our season awards, we will debate all this definitely. But I'm saying officially who received it basically on the pitch and everything, right? From the Serie A. So officially, again, these are not our opinions. Officially, best under 23 player as per Serie A is Nico Paz. Best goalkeeper has gone to Miles Svilar. Kudos to Ajay Bhai there. Best defender has gone to Alessandro Bastoni. Best midfielder has gone to Tijani Reinders. Best forward has gone to Matteo Retegui, and best overall player has gone to Scott McTominay. So, and in Serie A, they don't give two awards to one player. So that's why McTominay didn't win like best midfielder and the best player award. So yeah.
Look at the magic that Juve creates. We had the best midfielder in Coop Miners, nowhere to be seen. We had the best goalkeeper in Di Gregorio, nowhere to be seen. Magic.
Magic. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's quickly get to predictions, but as Ajay Bhai said, guys, dead rubber games tonight. Bologna, Genoa, and AC Milan Monza is like the most dead rubber game, like in my opinion. Like horrible, like I don't know what to say. But
I think
quick
both
predictions, guys.
Bologna and Milan game, in my opinion.
Sorry?
Home wins for both Bologna and Milan.
Costo?
Just for the laughs, Monza get a draw, Bologna get a win. Because I think Bologna, I feel like Bologna will be fine with just a point because they've sealed European competition anyway.
Yeah,
So
उनको tension
it's
नहीं है.
like chalta hai, whatever it is. So I guess Bologna
Yeah.
get a narrow win and Milan Monza draw just for the laughs.
DJ bhai?
Yeah, I agree with AJ. I feel Bologna winning, Milan winning.
Yeah, I think Bologna wins like narrow because I know Genoa are also experimenting. Milan, I think जीतेगा for to close the season. I feel they'll give something to their fans to not rejoice, but कुछ तो है दे देंगे. Comments में guys, please predict. Please start predicting in the comments with the team names. Sorry, we missed that. Start predicting. Atalanta, Parma, Ajay bhai. Not, I mean, kind of. Parma is not safe from relegation, so this is not dead rubber by any means. Yeah,
Mathematically,
yeah.
but I
Parma
think
can still get. Yeah, go
Atlanta
ahead.
wins this. Atlanta wins this.
Atalanta wins this, so Parma lose. So we'll have to take the permit.
Last home game for Gasperini.
Yeah, bold prediction there. Ajay bhai clearly wanting Gasperini at his club, although the Roma Ultras do not want him as much. Kostub and DJ bhai, what do you think Atalanta Parma? Because this is again Parma is at risk. They've been grinding some results. They held Napoli as well. क्या बोलते? Parma survives or no?
So I think
Atalanta 2-0.
Gasperini with proper terrorist behavior, even if कुछ लेना देना नहीं है वो तब भी जीतेगा. He wins 3-1 or something like that, and Parma are in trouble as a result of that terrorism.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. DJ bhai?
Atlanta 2-0.
Atlanta 2 love. Shivam says Bologna 2-0 Genoa, AC Milan 2-1 win. Guys, predict the Parma game. Empoli, Hellas, Lazio, Lecce. Guys, Ajay, I'll start with you again. Empoli, Hellas, proper relegation head on because Hellas Verona is not safe. Empoli भी safe नहीं है और Lecce when they face Lazio they are not safe either. Lazio is in a European battle. मतलब ये दो game तो भाई they are going to be proper war. क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई?
I think I'll go for a Empoli win just because उनका form थोड़ा improve हुआ है last couple of games में. Maybe a 2-1 Empoli win and Lazio Lecce I'm going for a draw, 1-1 draw.
Fair enough. Deepu says 3-1 Atalanta. He says Juve to beat Venezia. We'll come to that. Christian Kiwu is suspended for this game, Shivam. Yes. Deepu says last game for Lukman, possibly. Correct. DG and Kosto, what do you guys think? Empoli, Hellas, Lazio, Lecce.
Empoli
Kosto,
1-0, Lazio Lecce 1-1.
1-1. Wow. Optimism there. Kosto, क्या बोलता है?
I think narrow Empoli win and narrow Lazio win.
Fair enough. That's interesting.
As a result, I think Parma get pulled in, but still, it won't be confirmed that they get relegated, obviously.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Sam brother, to quickly answer your question, yes, Quarants Serie को मिलेगा Serie A medal. The criteria is like 5 appearances to be made in the league, right? Costo band, he made 17 appearances in the league, if I'm not wrong, and he even scored like winning goals in games. So he better get a medal.
But
Yeah,
it's
sorry,
like
DJ.
the regulation in Serie A is कि when you on the day you win the title, you need to be registered in the squad to win a medal. ऐसा कुछ rule है. So he only wins
Have they
Liga.
changed
He
it?
doesn't win
Have they changed
Serie
it?
A.
Because that was not there in the past. Then I missed it, I guess.
Probably. That's what a lot of papers were saying like 2 weeks ago. वो जब चल
then
रहा
he
था
might
बीच में
not
कि वो Quara can win 2 league titles. So
Yeah,
a
then I
lot of
missed
papers
that.
said that he'll only win one because वो title जीतने के time he won't be registered with Napoli. But that's what
Wow.
papers were saying. बाकी we don't know.
देखते पता चलेगा सुन उसको मिलेगा कि नहीं. People are saying Empoli 1-1 Hellas says Deepu or Torino. अरे Torino वाले पे आते रहो. Atalanta 3-1 Parma says Deepu. Yeah, next games guys. Torino Roma Ajay bhai and Udinese Fiorentina. Does it have repercussions? Am I missing something? Yeah, it does, right?
No,
If I'm not wrong.
no,
Ajay bhai?
it doesn't.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't. Okay.
Fiorentina out.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll start with Torino Roma. Ajay bhai, obviously European qualification at line. Torino have nothing to play for. क्या बोलते हो?
I'll predict both Torino, Roma, and Venezia, Juve. I think both Roma and Juve will win, and we will finish fifth. End of the day, that's what I feel. I think Venezia at home. I know very very tough team to beat, लेकिन Di Francesco के ऊपर मतलब छोड़ना वो ही एक पाप है. I hope कि कुछ करे, but वो सिर्फ hope है. दिमाग तो वही बोलता है कि Juve will churn out a victory, 1-0 or 2-0 maybe on the night, and after that Roma need to win as well because I don't want Roma to play in the Conference League at least finish fifth and get into the Europa League ahead
Fair
of
enough. No,
Lazio.
also, just to clarify, guys. See, I was just checking the table. Fiorentina, इसीलिए the game is at the same time. Fiorentina can still qualify for the qualification of Conference League because they have a better head-to-head over Lazio. They did beat Lazio twice this season. So if they beat Udinese and if Lazio lose, they'll be on the same points, and Fiorentina will overtake Lazio on head-to-head, and
Ah,
Lazio will
ah.
miss out on European football altogether. So that is one possibility for Fiorentina. So what do you guys think, Udinese Fiorentina? क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई?
I think Fiorentina will win this because Udinese have been playing on like वो off season mode में चले गए काफी काफी game week से.
हम्म. So Ajay bhai, to get you have Roma, UA and Fiorentina winning. कौस्तुभ तू क्या बोलता है ये तीनों गेम के बारे में?
I think Roma win a trademark 1-0 Torino against, because as you mentioned, ki Torino have really nothing to play for. So it'll be a
Hmm.
1-0, one first goal marque, you just sit deeper. Udinese Fiorentina, I feel like it'll be a draw because Fiorentina ka you get the sense ki something is up, ki you have too much going on here and there. Ki there's stuff about Dodo leaving, Palladino
Yeah,
ka
yeah, I saw
future,
that.
and it feels unsettling. So I feel like it will be a draw. All hopes gone for European football. And Juve Venezia, Juve win 2-0, but not a pretty 2-0, but they still get the job done.
I don't think DJ bhai will care if it's pretty or not as long as he gets
Yeah, yeah.
your Champions League football. क्या बोलते हो DJ bhai?
I think this will be a very easy Roma to love. Udine Fiorentina Param, yeah, I think it's academic. I do think Lazio will pip Fiorentina. I don't see them lose to Lecce, especially at home. So with their 1-1 draw, even the 1-0 win for Fiorentina will not change much.
Fair enough, fair enough. Just quickly take the pending predictions in the comments and we can close
अरे मेरा
this.
यूवे prediction तो सुन.
बोलो 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 बोलो. अब मुझे लगा आप देने ही नहीं वाले हो because आप इतना नर्वस हो तो मुझे लगा
How
बोलो
is
बोलो.
Nervous, yeah, guys. I don't know.
he,
The sensations I've been getting is a 1-1 draw, but I think just you feel it really on the match day itself. Heart still says Juve will make it, but it's tough. It's tough
Fair
because
enough.
they're away from home. Venetia's struggling. It really comes down to how mentally prepared they are. The talent is there. Thuram is back. No, not too many injuries. I feel like we'll recover Vega in time. It's only Kalulu that's out. So he's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to start Yildiz, Conceição, Kolomoani, and Thuram and Loka in the middle. And I think it's a stacked team, so they should bring it home. But let's see. Like Kostub said, very not easy. Roma's win will be far easier, in my opinion.
Fair enough, fair enough.
people go like
Uh,
Juve, one will win Vlahovic 88 minute.
so yeah, he's trolling. I know him. He loves trolling.
Juve to Conference League, Lazio to Europa League, Roma to Champions League. Wow, wow. Yeah, we'll play one quiz after this. After we close off the predictions, which is almost done because
Fair
I think
enough.
yeah that's ये last set of games है, which closes Serie A game week 38 and the season in its entirety. DJ, your final thoughts. You have to leave, so your closing thoughts on the season that has been and gone now.
Guys, even for me, I think I said it at the start of today's episode also. What has been very wholesome is the fact that even though Juve didn't win, it was a great advertisement for the league as a whole in terms of it going down to the last day, like very thrilling for the neutral eye. I think unfortunate that we don't have like the best broadcasting in India, but I think the league as a whole represented itself really well. Good to know there's an Italian team in the Champions League final. The league's gone down to the wire. The fourth place has gone down to the wire. So I think really that is really, cinema and entertainment, so to speak. So I'm really happy about that as a whole. Of course, for me personally, as a Juve fan, it's been a very up and down season. We started with, what seemed like a very legitimate project, and then, of course, confusion, injuries, personalities of the coach and the management not aligning. That up and down has been a little unfortunate for me personally. But I think that said, Juve is Juve. We will always recover. and I'm hoping the first step to that is qualification for this upcoming Champions League. I think that's really important to make that money. And I think the signings that will be a very interesting summer for all of us. With the
Yeah.
coaching changes and the signings that come in. So I'm really looking forward to the summer. Hopefully, Ajay, with due respect, if you may make it, then we'll have that transfer kitty to really put some really neat guys to complement the young squad that we have out there already. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I see Juve in a serious competition for the top 3 places next season with Conte and the right signings.
डीजे भाई ने ऑलरेडी कॉन्टे को बोल लाइक यूवेंटस में सॉलिडिफाई कर दिया है लाइक दैट आई लव टू सी दैट लाइक वी नीड अ होल सेपरेट स्ट्रीम वेयर योगेश इज काइंड ऑफ कन्विंस्ड कि ही इज स्टेइंग एंड वी हैव अ स्ट्रीम वेयर डीजे इज कन्विंस्ड कि नहीं भाई वो आ रहा है दैट लाइक होल
Okay.
डिबेट इज नीडेड
See, I'll tell you guys,
उससे
no
पहले हो
lack of
जाएगा, उससे पहले
humility.
कॉन्टे हो जाएगा.
In true honesty, you have to read these things between the lines, right? It's not what Agresti and all are reporting. It's you can see it in the body language of ADL and Conte. And actually, this conversation happened where the minute Mota was let go of, so immediately the sirens started ringing, because if you go back to Conte's outburst, it was 3 or 4 or 5 match days ago.
या
And that was the aligning with Juve, with like Tudor coming in, and there's no continuity happening for Tudor, etc. So keeping those things in mind, I think from those moments you just knew, and when the owner calls you, it's very hard at that point for Conte to kind of say no. The stars have aligned. He's wanted to come back for a long time. Agnelli being there is the one who blocked it. That's the history basically. Now Agnelli is not there, and Elkan's personally wanting this. It's very hard for it not to happen. Also a rumored pay cut, so it's not about the money. It's not about the Champions League. He was with Napoli without Champions League. Really, for him, this is tailor-made, right? It's an underdog team. It's what he thrives on. It's not a champion team, you know. So I think you read between the lines, you see it happen. Did I want it? No, yeah, I wanted fresh ideas. I want a guy like you spend 3-4 years building something of, because I feel like that goes the distance. That goes the distance in Europe. That goes the distance in the league. And yeah, you have to suffer in not winning a title, but you're sucking it up and finishing top 3, top 4. So yeah, I mean, just reading between the lines, there's no lack of humility
no no
or it's
no
a done
yeah
deal.
I understand नहीं yeah but I think DJ Bhai needs to take our leave. We'll close this stream quickly.
DJ.
Nice to have you.
Ciao, ciao,
I just
dosto. Big
ciao,
love.
ciao, ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good. Yeah, see you.
Bye.
I just find it weird कि भाई आज Saturday Ajay भाई and Kostub and today they fucking kept. I know they want to end the league on a high, but they could have literally had the Monza and Genoa game in the afternoon, like right now, and they could have kept the UCL games at night, and we could have probably done a watch along because it's a Sunday the next day. We could have done something. We could have watched the game. We could have had a thriller, but thanks to Serie A, it's a Monday. Sorry, you had taken some comment. Just
हाँ
very quickly.
ये because लेवरकूजन का काफी similar season था
यार
ये 2008
first,
मुझे भी याद
yeah,
है.
I saw that. Yeah, I remember. I know. First of all, Bosu, nice to have seeing you for the first time. Guessing you're an Interista, so nice to have you. But yeah, they care. It is what it is. होता है तो होता है यार. I mean, this is the age of social media. You get trolled and all that, so it's not that big a deal. Am I confident for Champions League? Yeah, I mean, ठीक है, fairly confident. बाद में जो होना है वो होगा. I think अजय भाई क्विज लेने वाले हैं शहजाब.
बस ये लास्ट कमेंट दिया मैंने शिवम का. They thought Monza and Milan would be playing in a title.
Relegation, right? Yeah, but that's funny. Like, yeah, I mean, it's hilarious कि भाई Saturday को ये game है. Any other thought? हाँ,
सेरिया
बोलो
का
बोलो.
जो शेड्यूलिंग है ना वो मतलब कैसा
It's
चलता है
terrible.
वो तो
भाई
उनको ही पता है.
या मैं बोलता हूँ भाई एक काम करो यार, ईचिन का जो फिक्सचर्स का डिपार्टमेंट है ना उधर मेरे को जॉब लेने में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मतलब इतना आसानी से फिक्सचर शेड्यूलिंग में भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी, रेफरीज में भी डाल दो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. आई थिंक वी शुड पिच फॉर इट एज अ पैनल एंड कुछ ना कुछ करना चाहिए बिकॉज दिस इज डिजास्टर. लाइक सैटरडे को सबसे कच्चे नॉट
what is
कचरा बट
worse?
यू गेट द
What's worse
सॉरी
is
बोल.
इनका जो सीजन ओपनर होता है, बाकी
हाँ,
लीग्स एनी लीग यू वॉच केवल एक मैच होता है at the very
yeah,
beginning so that people tune in and watch. They
yeah.
invest in one team, two team. यहाँ पे 3 मैच एक बार में होता है.
Yeah,
In the
see,
very
this is what I'm saying.
first
That they could
game
have
week.
kept us exactly. They could have kept a 6:30 kickoff for the Bologna game. They could have had an 8:30 or 9:30 kickoff for the Milan game. और रात को पूरे तेरे UCL रन होता. You could have had a whole Serie A marathon to close with anyways. So that's so dumb कि भाई ये लोग ने वो पूरा mess up कर दिया. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. अजय भाई वो quiz pull up कर लो last वाला, then we can close the stream.
Yeah, so it's Costo versus Param Games Football Daily Pick. Give me the timer, by the way, guys.
ये I'll also watch the stream and I'll also have the bounce. Wait.
Are you ready?
Oh boy, this is.
Oh, अच्छा ये वाला nice.
Yeah. So we are going with
What is
timer.
it?
थोड़ा zoom in कर सकते हैं क्या? Can we zoom in a bit? थोड़ा. क्या लिखा? Played in USA. क्या लिखा है वो ऊपर वाला? Because I'm on my
Played in
phone.
MLS. Played in MLS.
Played in MLS. Like this is Serie
It's
A.
just played in MLS, right? Unrelated to any other league.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you will
that's
get
what.
players, deck of players, okay? And
Okay.
timer set रहेगा, and each of you will have one turn. तो इसमें ये भी है
हाँ, हाँ.
कि
समझा.
sometimes you will not get a player. That's fine. That's just luck. You have to play the luck
Yeah.
factor.
Okay.
या प्लेयर पुल अप करना चालू करो. एक एक टर्न ना, टर्न बाय टर्न आप पूछोगे ना.
Turn by turn. So we start with Costa first.
या
With which prompt?
नहीं,
With the
सो
timer
बेसिकली
will
कैसा होगा कॉस्टूम. अजय भाई विल स्टार्ट एंड तेरे को ना ऊपर एक प्लेयर दिखेगा. मेरे को जस्ट याद आया, गेम ये हमने खेला था. ठीक है, ऊपर तेरे को एक प्लेयर दिखेगा. यू हैव टू मैच इट विद एनीथिंग दैट इज रेलेवेंट ऑन द टाइल यू सी बिलो. समझा तुझे? बट
Okay,
यू
fine.
हैव टू पिक स्मार्टली. फॉर एग्जांपल अगर टॉटी आता
हाँ,
है,
got it.
राइट, तो टॉटी के लिए तू रोमा
Zlatan
बोलेगा.
applies to Sare almost, basically.
MLS
Stuff
and
like that.
yeah, so Zlatan applies to Milan, United and MLS, right? So you
Yeah.
pick smartly because कैसा है, अगर तू Zlatan Milan इस MLS में Milan Man United में डाल दिया तो तेरे को शायद MLS प्लेयर बाद में मिले ना. So you have to
Yeah,
take
yeah,
your pick
ठीक है.
smartly. समझा तुझे?
ठीक है.
one wild card which I will play. So
Yeah, wild card only
Okay.
Ajay bhai can play. We can't. ठीक है, Ajay bhai. You're the moderator, right, for this?
I'm the moderator.
Okay, go ahead. Guys,
Ready?
comments में भी आप लोग खेलो. अजय भाई को hints दे. I mean, अजय भाई can moderate the comments. So yeah, go ahead.
Let's go. Costa.
अरे यार,
Argentina.
fair enough. Memphis Depay. What do I see here? Memphis. Wait, what is that? ये वाला.
That's gone. Robinho. Next.
Okay.
But there's a timer.
Robinho.
Fuck. I didn't even
वो
see.
अच्छा timer है. Okay, ठीक है. Robinho played for Manchester City.
Yeah, but why are we putting it? Pavel Nedved.
Ballon d'Or.
ये भाई. Yeah, wait, where is it? Ballon d'Or, yeah. अरे यार, ये वो आपका टाइल कट रहा है. अजय भाई लास्ट वाला टाइल कट रहा है, इसलिए मेरे को.
He won the
I
Europa
can't see
League.
the. No.
Come on.
Kyle Walker सिटी तो हो गया ना. Kyle Walker और क्या इधर? Played with, managed by. यार fuck, I can't even see the last tile. That's the problem. I'm on my phone. Arsenal. I mean.
Croydon.
अजय भाई एक काम करो. अजय भाई, can you restart this without the timer, because with the timer it's too chaotic.
अरे you guys are not listening to my prompt. Just listen to my voice.
नहीं. अब मेरे को आ गया समझ. जैसे Enzo was
the thing is I am online via my phone, so मेरे इसमें ना last tile का description कट रहा है for some reason. So if you can restart and not put that.
ऐसा मत.
ठीक.
You just listen to my prompt.
एक second. Is it competing or is it just अलग-अलग से?
It is competing. It is 1v1.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it is 1v1.
Just listen to my prompt. Okay, if I say cost to answer.
Yeah, but this is much better for me. I'll manage.
Yeah. If you're answering for Costo, you're giving him a point. Basically.
Okay, fair. ठीक है.
Are we ready now?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yes.
Ready? Starting again with Costo. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Andrei Kramaric.
This is fucking tough on this one.
This is difficult. He's not
Muslera Galatasaray. Could have said.
Costo.
Maicon. What the fuck? Copa America winner.
Oh yeah, that's there. Cristiano managed by Mu.
Costume.
Oh,
Close.
yeah.
World Cup Golden Boot.
Oh, he answered in time. Oh, nahi hua. He missed it.
मैंने 1
Roy
second पे
की
आंसर करा.
Param.
Roy, the golden boot thing has to be, no? Just vote. No, not World Cup, boy. The English top.
So there
What the
was.
fuck?
I will first.
Costume.
I was
Ivory
not
Coast.
saying World Cup.
Param.
Jackson, Colombia, of course, Jackson Martinez. I meant English top division scorer, yaar.
Costume.
Paredes. Inter Juve. Oh no, sorry. Wait. वो रोमा Juve. रोमा Juve था.
Yes, Casillas. Casillas. क्या है? Am I missing something? None. No, wait. Oh shit! It could have been Mourinho. Fuck.
Oh yes. Watkins. क्या random है.
I'm playing
He
wild card.
would.
Okay, next.
Bubakar.
Still with costume.
Bubakar Kamara.
Wait, did he play for
Param.
gone? Azad again, fuck. Yeah, that's. Was he the golden boot name? Trying to remember on the spot. Fuck. Mascherano.
Costume.
Mascherano also doesn't fall in any category here.
Doesn't fall in any category.
Param.
Joel Linton. No. Wait. Was he at. No.
No.
Costume.
Gabriel Jesus. वो रोनाल्डो को कुछ जल्दी यूज अप कर, उसको पोर्चुगीज लीगा में डालना है, वो देखा ही नहीं वो टाइल. वो
doesn't fit in.
कोलो वेट मिलर.
Got it right. Costume.
Panelka. Was he at Leon? No, he wasn't.
Back to Param.
Marcus Edwards. Sporting. Marcus Edwards.
Lobotka, Slovakia.
Param. Nesta.
No links, right? I mean, I can't say anything. That is golden boot.
Costume. Milinkovic-Savic.
Arey, yaar, this is too easy, man. What the fuck? Luis Figo, Primera Liga Portugal.
Costume, back to you. Hardy.
अरे ये तो भाई ये तो हो गया.
Premier League.
Guido Rodriguez.
Guido at River was, yeah. Just give it because मेरे को hazy memory. Yeah, he was. Lima, right?
No. Oh, Juve. Oh, which Juve? अच्छा, this is अपना वाला. This is the real one. मेरे को लगा Cristiano.
नहीं
Cristiano. Mutu. No.
कहीं भी नहीं.
Nowhere. Wait, do you only have 7?
Gary Cahill.
No.
क्या funny point पे आया Gary Cahill.
Yeah, like what is this?
Coming back to you, Costume. Burak Yilmaz.
Was Yilmaz at Leon?
He was at Lille.
Was it Lille?
Oh, he guessed it, but it's wrong. Rivaldo, golden boot. Go for it. Might as well. I don't remember. Oh fuck, Duan.
कहीं भी नहीं.
नहीं, Duan नहीं आता है.
Keylor.
नहीं है, इसमें कुछ नहीं है.
Yeah, so that's about it. I think Param.
So there's stuff missing because we इधर-उधर करा इसलिए.
Yeah, just
we didn't even keep a track. We didn't even keep a track of who won. I think it's either a draw.
I know. Wait for it. Yeah. I am the moderator. Please. User Rodriguez. Param the answer for User Rodriguez.
Wait.
Yes.
I can wait. We'll go like this. Jamie Vardy was Kostub, so that's 1 point. Kostub Gin. I was Guido. I was Milner. I was Colo Toure and Guido Rodriguez. Maicon was Kostub, so that's 2 all. Lobotka was Kostub, 3-2. Yaya Toure was Kostub, so that's for Muslera was me, 4-3. Sergey was Kostub, so 5-3.
I think 6-7 Param, something like that.
5-3, 2 lead पे. Ronaldo was 5-4 me. Marcus 5-5. Jackson मैं और Luis हाँ. Yeah, I won eventually.
6-5.
ये मत मजा. Yeah, जो भी था बढ़िया आ रहा है. बराबर. Good evening, yaar. You have to play more of this Kostub, like with the time.
तुम लोग जरा सबर करो, तुम लोग इतना ऐसा चढ़ रहे हो ना उस पर.
With the timer, it's chaotic, man. With the timer, it's chaotic.
No, for a second, I thought it's that वो वाला game where वो tiles वाला होता है where you pick off
Tic-tac.
one player for two common grounds, वैसा वाला.
Yeah, tic-tac.
I thought it's
game
that.
same.
हाँ,
Let's have
tic-tac.
one last one without timer so that.
Wait,
fair.
can we do one more? But this time Ajay versus Costume, let me moderate it.
With the
me
timer.
moderate it.
With timer.
Yeah, you control it, Ajay bhai, but I'll moderate it. You control it, but I'll moderate. Guys, आप लोग comments में भी ready हो जाओ. 34 people watching. Do like, share, subscribe, and give your answers in the comments. We start the time. I'll start. Ajay bhai, you go first. Costume goes second. You start the timer whenever you want to. You can start now.
Ready? Also ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go.
We have Roger Ibanez. Arey baap re, what a start for Ajay bhai. What a start.
But hey,
कोई है ही नहीं है. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, नहीं. Pepe. This
Pepe.
has to be with अपना Pepe, Portugal वाला Pepe ना.
Portugal, yes,
Try
Portugal.
Okay, he Aubameyang, Ajay bhai, 1-1. Comments, guys, come on. David Alaba. क्या है? Giroud, World Cup winner, Italian top nation, Spanish doesn't apply.
Nowhere,
I guess.
right?
Nowhere. Christian Romero, Ajay bhai.
ये यार अर्जेंटीना नहीं तो.
Martin Terrier, Lille.
Martin Terrier, Lille. So we are level now on points. Denzel Dumfries, यार अभी हो गया Denzel Dumfries यार. This is नहीं है.
कहीं भी नहीं, I think.
नहीं.
कहीं भी नहीं.
Otavio. Ooh, you could have put him in SPL.
Yeah.
नहीं, Otavio. नहीं, I don't think.
No.
Tammy Abraham. अरे
Has
ये
he
तो
played with
easy है.
Giroud?
अरे बट टैमी का दूसरा तो देख नीचे.
No, he hasn't. Sorry. England.
गया.
Too late. Bernardo Silva. Shivam is commenting. Come on, guys. Bernardo Silva. हो गया.
No.
William Saliba, guys.
Saliba.
Played with.
Nowhere.
Now you could have Karim Benzema. This is easy as fuck.
Giroud.
नहीं. ये
अच्छा, किसका टर्न?
Sevilla.
अभी Jules Koundé से हुआ. Sevilla. Costa has got it. Ilkay Gundogan.
Jesper Lindstrom. World Cup winner.
Nowhere.
क्या रैंडम प्लेयर था.
Zlatan.
सब में आ गए.
Anthony
Gordon.
अरे easy.
England.
Yeah. Adebayor, Ajay bhai. नहीं. Ajay bhai. Ronald Araujo for Kostub. Is Uruguay. He said it quick. Yeah. Dejan Stankovic, Ajay bhai. Ooh. Nowhere. अजय भाई का लक नहीं चल रहा है इधर. और कॉस्ट्यूम funnily enough doesn't नहीं fit होता है. Just like his real life career.
And his love.
क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई? Arda Turan. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, nice one.
अजय भाई. Luka Dean. Hey. This.
World Cup winner.
Yeah. You could have said Giroud also. But ठीक है वो रहेगा टाइमर हो गया. Morata, Chelsea, Atleti. Luis Suarez, Liverpool. Raul में. Ooh.
Has he played with
I don't think so. No. मैं बता रहा हूँ.
He did play with Giroud, but yeah, Cesc Fabregas. They दो ही टाइम बचा है.
World Cup winner.
So last Radamel Falcao, did he play with Giroud, Ajay bhai? No, you took the point. Dimitri Payet. Yeah, so Costa has probably won this. Yeah, we need to do more tic-tac-toes. Yeah. अरे उसने बोला था ना?
अरे बोला.
Bola, we'll have to. Gregor Kobel obviously did not. I think we can give that point to Kostub since he said it.
Yeah, but I
Gon-
mean,
yeah, he did. I mean, Gonzalo
Fair enough.
Higuain did. He did. He did. So yeah, I think Kostub won because Giroud Kostub bola, Luis Suarez Kostub bola, Terrier I think Kostub bola, Aubameyang Ajay Bhai bole. So 3-1 on the first panel. Kunde Kostub bola, so that's 4-1. Ajay Bhai gave the Morata one 4-2. Gundogan who gave?
मैंने दिया.
Ajay.
The 4-3. Ronald Araujo Kostub went so 5-3. Pepe who did?
Pepe mera.
6-3. Roger Ibanez was Ajay Bhai 6-4. Rabio was Ajay Bhai ना?
हाँ, मेरा था
हाँ.
राबियो. तुरान भी
6-5.
मेरा था.
Arda Turan भी आपका था.
तुरान भी मेरा था.
हाँ.
6-6. Benzema was Kostub.
मेरा था. मेरा था.
Hmm.
7-6 Kostub. Then Gordon was Kostub 7-7. Zlatan was who?
मैं था.
Zlatan.
And Fabregas was
Fabregas.
so it's a tie.
Kostub.
So it's a tie. It's a tie. Wow. It's a 8-8 tie, guys. Insane. Chalo, guys, I think we can just take the last quick comments. So, any questions, guys? Please do like, share, and subscribe to Calcio Charcha. More content will keep on coming. Serie A season खत्म हो गया है. I mean, technically, obviously, Inter are still in the Champions League, तो एक Italian team का एक match बचा है. But Serie A season खत्म हो गया. Otherwise, Napoli are your champions, deservedly so. Congrats to you, Jesh. Congrats to any Napoli fan that is watching this, all in general around the world. Deserved fourth Scudetto, and we know that Napoli. It's only their fourth Scudetto. It's quite a historic moment. अगर आप उनके celebrations देखना चाहते हो, just search up Napoli on Twitter. There are videos on the Serie A channel. There are videos on CBS Golazo का YouTube channel. आप title celebrations देख सकते हो. The scenes were crazy. I mean, we all saw it. Yogesh, Jebhai and Kostub like crazy scenes, and you can enjoy their title celebrations if you want to. पर Serie A Italian football season खत्म हुआ है. But Calcio Churchill का content नहीं खत्म होने वाला. There is a lot more coming. There's a lot more videos coming off season, more story oriented videos. अजय भाई के channel पे भी videos आ रहे हैं. Please do subscribe to AM Talk Sports. Please follow Costob on Twitter. Again, he is our main Italian football journalist, in-house Di Marzio, as we say. So he will probably be breaking a lot of transfer stories over the course of the next few months. And Ajay Bhai will be बोले पूछेंगे who's next Roma coach. All of us will be bugging him. So अगर आपको Serie A news जो भी चाहिए, हम subscribe to Calcio Chacha, follow Costob, subscribe to Ajay Bhai's channel. And any closing thoughts, guys? You guys want to give?
That's it. Yeah, I just hope there's a good news that's given by Eusebio Di Francesco. Supposed to speak on it.
Yeah. Costob, you want to say anything?
No, I feel like this season was peak calcio. The top two managers both adapted, adjusted along the way. I think Italian football में वही है. So much of it is just managers, coming up with ways to adapt to situations because the money isn't there. It was peak calcio. Ki Inter, despite all the tiredness, they're pushing through. Napoli, jo bhi losing players injured, coming from 10th. So they also adapted. So it was peak calcio. And what a season.
Fair enough. I just want to say one more thing कि भाई
super over करने के लिए.
Super over. शहजाब ना एक हम लोग ऐसा मेगा एपिसोड करेंगे जहाँ एक दूसरे के अगेंस्ट रॉयल रंबल होगा कुछ का, ठीक है, साथ के साथ लोग कुछ तो करेंगे. ये ऑफ सीजन में ये एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है कि आप ज्यादा एक्सपेरिमेंट कर सकते हो. मैचेस नहीं होते. बट with that being said, I want to say one thing. ये क्लीशे साउंड करता है बहुत, but thank you to everyone who has supported us, who has watched our podcast even for a few minutes or seconds, because we are very close to 2K, and this was our first season of covering Italian football on a whole. Last season हमने चालू किया था, but towards the end of last season when Inter won the Scudetto. So we appreciate all the support. We can only be grateful. The growth has been phenomenal. We started at Ajay, obviously you start from zero, but we were at 500 subscribers only a few months ago, and now we are at 1.8, over 1.8k. So super grateful. Ajay Bhai's channel also has grown similarly. Kostub's fan following has also grown similarly. So we appreciate all the support, guys. We can only say please support karte raho. Content aata rahega, and we will be bringing different sort of content for you. There is a video on Qualiarella coming. We'll be doing a video with Kostub discussing the under 23 talented players of the season. We'll be doing our end of the season Serie A awards as well. So all that is coming. All you have to do is support, let people know that we exist, and just let's grow the community together. That's the best way. And ये week obviously Champions League final preview सब आएगा. We are doing a watch along. Ajay bhai, so do you want to make the announcement? Might as well
अभी नहीं यार,
let's start
इनको
going.
होने the final, then we will
Fair enough. So we are in the, at least I will say कि we are in the works to do a screening for the UCL final. अभी तक official नहीं है, but mostly होना चाहिए अजय भाई, right? If that's the situation at least. So once that happens, we will let you know. But if you are in Mumbai at the time of the UCL final, or you can come to Mumbai, please do come, because we plan to do a proper Calcio community watch along of the Champions League final. So definitely keep an eye out on that, and many more things coming. We'll see you soon, we'll see you soon, guys. Shivam says Param turning heel. मतलब ट्रॉफी लेस गए तो यार इतना बुरा भी नहीं बनूंगा यार, डोंट वरी. बट yeah, I hope we win the Champions League. But yeah, any closing thoughts, Costo? Anything else to say?
No. Yeah, I mean, just what a brilliant season, and it was probably our first full season as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're only growing. There's so much more to go. There's so much content stands basically to explore. Because there's so much in Calcio to be done. That Serie A itself doesn't do.
Nice way to close. Ajay, last, anything you want to say?
We want to drop the balloon challenges and stuff like that. यहाँ पे सब
Yeah, वो अपने को करना पड़ेगा अभी लगता है. Yeah,
Thanks.
Ciao, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and see you soon.